Bomba clock. Bomba clock. Bachi. Jesus Christ, I wish you guys could see what was on my second monitor right now. God damn. That's enough of that. Let me pull up my own streamage and then just get pull up my own here myself as always. Let me get the link. Let me put it in my Discord. Yep, unorganized as always. It's a tradition at this point. If I was organized, it would be a boring stream. Everyone, time to Bachi. You know what? I'm gonna put it on Lex as well. Lex. Time to Bachi. Post. Bomba clock. Is it out yet? Is it out? It's not out yet. I want it. I want it now. Right, there we go. Everything should be all nice and sorted. Isn't that right? Nice. No, there's my Discord, lovely. Bomba clock. What's going on? Why is my shit tweaking, bro? Alright. We're good. Everything's fine. Everything's fine, I promise. Okay, I think we are actually good now. Oh, no, we're not, because I haven't done the thing. Here, let me do the thing. Edit filters, add filter. Going to add color correction, add, and then we're going to reduce the opacity so that YouTube doesn't bomb my house. Because they do that these days, you know. It's a true fact. It's in the TOS agreement when you like. Get monetized. That like if you do copyright stuff, especially if you piss off Shueisha, we carpet bomb your house. That's something that they do say, right? You'd get it if you were a YouTuber who covered Kagurabachi. Alright? Go ask like Weeb and Daffy and that lot, bro. Trust, it's a real thing. Hey yo, Shiny, get in here, bro. Shiny, do you wanna jump on? Yo, I've already read the chapter so good. The chapter's not even out yet, unless you're a leaks reader. And it's always so good. Oh, yeah, it's here. Ah. Shiny, come. Wait. Hello?
Yo, what's good?
Yo! Oh, let's go. Alright. Pull this shit up, brother. We need to read this.
Okay.
I've opened the first page. I'm scared, guys.
What's the chapter called?
The Wounded.
The Wounded?
It's called The Wounded.
Okay.
Who's wounded?
I don't know.
We're getting a
Dude, I thought
POV
it was
switch?
gonna be like, you know the last two chapters were the Enten versus Toby Mune and then the Enten? I thought this was gonna be the Toby Mune.
I mean, yeah, like, okay, the Wounded can apply to Samura's Suzaku ability, or it could apply to Hirohiko, or someone's been mentally wounded. I don't fucking know. Like, alright, chat, lock in. I think it's time to start reading. I mean, I've opened the first page. Have you got it up? I don't want to spoil anything.
I'm gonna open it right now.
Alright, I'll mute whenever I talk to chat if I'm saying something, you know, spoilerish. Yeah, let me make sure that's why.
It's fine. I got it up right now.
Yo, I've already read the chapter, so good. Just sped read the chapter at its peak as usual. Okay. Alright, so it looks like we're... I mean, Hokuzono likes to do the kind of thing that Gege does a fair bit, where you start the chapter off in a certain place and then do the POV switch like after a page or two. But I'm thinking we probably stick with this for the moment. I can't lie. I find the way he sandwiched in the like Azami, like a single Azami chapter, and then the two like Hakuri Uraha chapters. Like he sandwiched it in, and then we switched back, and it's, do you know what I mean? It felt like quite an odd way of placing
Yeah,
them.
it's weird.
It's very strange.
I guess if it's like animated, it would be a little better, you know?
Yeah, because
Then
it's
it just flows as
realistically
one
that
episode.
one chapter is like what, through like 2-3 minutes probably.
Right.
Well, like 5 minutes more like, still. Anyway, I'm gonna read. So yeah, we've seen this. Chihiro is still standing in that pond thing. Samura's got his feet out as usual. He loves to do that pose. He does that a lot with his like fucking 3/4 length trousers. Like, all right. The enten is the only enchanted blade Rokuhiro made after the war. Okay, that's good to know. There's no secret 8th one that's gonna leap on us suddenly. An enchanted blade capable of destroying the other blades. Yeah, as we speculated. It's the kind of thing Rokuhiro would think of, but get real, it's pure fantasy. Bro, this guy's so stubborn. Oh my god. Fucking hell, go back home, Unk. Jesus. It's pure fantasy. Even against Tobimune, you haven't so much as nicked it. This is just the beginning. You aren't trying to become a swordsman, are you? No, I want to be a swordsmith like my dad. Even if you did have that power... This burden is from the past. It's not yours to shoulder. Oh, hell yeah. I love, like, people be complaining about the switch up in his art style. I love this art style, I can't lie. Like, the big Fire Force eyes, I fuck with that shit. I like it.
It's good, right?
Yeah, I really like it. Samura looks so cool with his, like... I love him without the glasses. He just has so much aura without the glasses. Oh, Samura. Samura, he actually, like... He looks like... He's so much like Iori in this panel. You know the panel where he's closing his eyes and says, I see, bro? Like, he deadass looks like Iori.
Oh, yeah. I see it, yeah.
I see. Nishiki... He's faster now. What's going on here? What's this? What's this weird tech? Hey, Samura's so chill though. Oh my god, he's so cool. He's so nonchalant, bro. Look at he's not even no expression on his face. Just it's instant. Oh, I love it. I've never felt this level of ferocity. This time he's really going for the enten. Yeah, bro. Yeah, okay. It's exactly what we thought it was. There's no way. Wait, where are you at, Shiny?
I'm at the part where he's getting faster.
Okay.
And then he turns around. I've never felt this level of ferocity. This time he's really going for the enten. Teleports again.
Yeah.
Clashes.
Oh, behind the back! Oh, that's so cold! That's not speed alone. What he just did, don't tell me. Yes! Oh, the confirmation.
Wait.
Finally, Arca, bro. Finally.
Is it?
Yeah, but the Chihiro teleported, not Samura.
Yeah. But is it Arca?
Of course
is it confirmed now? Okay.
What else would it be?
Because he's questioning it now.
Maybe, but like... Oh, yeah, wait, someone in chat said it. You know that I said the panel where it looks like Iori? Yeah. Bro, it looks like the, if you laugh, you go to hell. Fucking...
It does.
It really does. Put the fries in the bag, G. Sam... Oh, go away, man. But like the stream first, and then go away. Your prediction was right, like that Sojo fight. Arca Crow goes so hard, he's so cool, bro. If Chihiro can copy moves, imagine how OP he's going to be at the end of the series. But that's what I'm saying, man. Now it's about whether...
Where are you right now?
We need to find out. I'm still at that swapping. I'm just talking to chat. Just give me a second.
Okay.
What we need confirmation is it a one-use thing? Like, after he copies it, can he only use the ability once? Because, like, low-key, what if he's storing this shit up, bro? What if he's like Yuta? Samura hitting the Sojo pose too, yeah. The Sojo block. Bro, this behind the back block is so cool. That's not speed alone. What he just did, don't tell me. Okay, so yeah, oh, the fish and the feather. Oh, that's so dope.
Yeah, right? It's cool.
Oh, hell yeah. Bro, he's fighting Samura. Like on relatively even footing. It's the same as Crow. Is that a fundamental power of the enten? Or yes.
Arca.
Arca.
It absorbed Tomune's crow without breaking the flow.
Oh, that sentence had a bit of a flow. Sorry.
True. He feels how much he's synced up with the enten. Okay.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, we get fired up. If I can't even scratch the Tobimune with Mr. Samura wielding it, breaking the Shinichi is a far-fetched fantasy. I mean, you're not wrong. But, like, it's all about the true realm, innit?
Mm-hmm.
I'll prove it. Just the Swordmaster and I have to die. It's the best and only way. The intense power. I'll show you how you can live. I said this!
Let's go.
Did I not say this?
You did.
Do you remember? I was like, there's a way. There is a way that Samura can live, bro. I said it.
You said it.
He's gonna copy Suzaku and revive Samura. Hell yeah, Chihiro. See? Reading comprehension, guys. People telling me I can't read. Fuck off. Chihiro's showing emotion. My goat. Bro, he shows emotion all the time. What are you talking about? Yeah, no, that panel is sick. If I was gonna, like, that would be my thumbnail. If I was gonna make a video on this. That's the
good,
one.
Right? Yeah.
Actually, I might just get it colored anyway, I can't lie.
Like the Nishiki eyes.
Oh, it's just, yeah, when he's like screaming, it's so good. Samura, oh, he's stressing a little bit now. I can do this. This is a joke. Oh, wait. Oh, that's a sick panel.
Wait, what just happened?
What do you mean what just happened? Wait, where are you? Where are you?
This is a joke. What does he mean it's a joke?
Like, I think he's just like, this is a joke as in, like, you can't do it. Like, you think you can, like, you're delusional, I think is what he's trying to say.
Okay.
Oh, they just don't stop. Oh my god. EI white purity on both sides. Look at that.
I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. Dude, this is fire.
He's rejecting Chihiro. Yeah, but again, this is what I mean. Samura's too stubborn, bro. He needs to just... Literally, this can all be resolved if Samura just takes like 5 minutes to just hear Chihiro out. Because Chihiro knows what his plan is. He wants to use Arca to save Samura. But Samura's so stubborn and like set in his way that he's guilty and deserves to die that he just won't even hear him out.
True.
Are you going to teleport again? Enough. Time for you to submit. Oh, goddamn.
Ooh, let's go. Another clash.
Oh, that's gonna have some people's legs shaking in the anime. Goddamn. Oh, that's sick.
Dude.
That's a two-way EI white purity clash right there. And again with Hokazono's speed lines.
Dude, you know what I love about Cheeto with his cloak? Whenever he has like a jacket on, it becomes like a fishtail.
I know, it's so good. Like the three
cool,
prongs.
Bro.
It's the same as it's literally the same shape as his dad's fucking goatee. His dad's beard is like that same like 3-prong.
Oh.
And that's just a little thing I always just notice for some reason. I don't know if it's deliberate. It's the same.
Huh. Did he get hurt?
Chihiro gets sent flying because, okay, to be fair, if you're literally... He's learned EI White Purity, like, the basics, today, pretty much,
yeah.
Right? Or, like, yeah, earlier on today or the day before, I can't remember. Samura's the master currently,
crap.
So, like, yeah, no shit, Chihiro is kind of not going to be able to clash with that. He hits so hard, but I have to keep going. I mean, yeah, he was like, it was a point-blank clash against EI White Purity from Samura. Like, he's gonna get hurt. The fact he didn't lose an arm is kind of a miracle, I can't lie. Yeah, his hand's really fucked, bro. His hand is super fucked up. But is this where he uses Suzaku to heal himself? Surely, right?
I hope so. Because, dude, this would be the time where he shows us that he's been absorbing everything the whole time.
Yes, bro.
Like he can
That's what I
absorb multiple
mean.
powers.
This is the true realm of Arca, is being able to fucking store them up or some shit. And then
I
he's
would
gonna.
love
This is
that.
how he beats the Shanuchi. He's gonna destroy all the enchanted blades, take all of their abilities, wield the enchanted blade with like everything, and then fry the Shanuchi and Yura. That's 100% where we're going. He shouldn't be able to wield his blade anymore. Again, it's fantasy. Okay, but knowing Chihiro, he's probably gonna fucking wield the blade anyway, even if he doesn't heal himself.
Agreed.
When Samura wields the Tobimune, he has no blind spots. Well, isn't that ironic? Yeah, except his fucking eyes, bro. Okay, there's a few double spreads. I'll check them out after in the viz. Enten Kagurabachi. They're spamming Crow and teleporting everywhere. Yeah, it's like fighting Todo. It's so sick.
Except both of them are Toto now.
Yeah.
How do those feathers he uses for detection work? Similar to the Enten's goldfish, they can read the shape of anything they touch in minute detail with regard to the surrounding environment. I think they can also detect temperature, sound, and airflow, giving him a natural sense of the space.
Alright, so he just knows everything then.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's the same as the goldfish. So.
Yeah. If the feathers don't detect us, we might be able to evade him. Is this where the Masumi comes in?
I'd like it.
Because again, that's the whole point, right? Is like he can't detect the Masumi. That was the strategy.
True.
That's why they're here. Teleportation will forever be my favorite superpower. Teleportation's dope.
Oh, this is the double spread. I can see it already.
So if the feathers don't detect us, blah blah blah. The Masumi's stealth techniques enable us to conceal heat, sound, noise, and hostile energy. All right. Well, how the fuck does that work? Whatever. We're able to eliminate. Oh, Jesus.
My bad.
We're able to eliminate nearly all traces of our presence, to blend into the environment. Even if he could detect us faintly by our physical displacement of the air, that's like some JJK shit, bro. That's what Maki and Toji do. Without vision for Mr. Samura, the Masumi might as well be ghosts. Oh yeah, here they are. Wait, that's actually such a cool effect.
Oh yeah.
That's really cool.
This is a fire double spread.
Yeah, damn. That's awesome. But I'm curious because, like, sure, they're safe because it's very, very hard for him to detect them. But if he can find them, they are cooked. Like, these guys are strong, really strong. But let's be real. That like, if Samura knows they're there, they're getting absolutely fucking walloped. Unless he focuses on us intensely, we can vanish. We'll use that to strike and disappear. In this battle of enchanted blades, we alone have the power to intercede. Bro, Ro is so cool. Ro has quickly become one of my favorite characters.
Bro, he's so decisive.
He's so
He really
cool.
is the leader.
Like, oh,
I thought he was just a kid, but I don't know.
No, he's like fucking 20, bro.
Yeah.
There's Iori and the Mob Psycho looking dude. Why these two have decided to pull up here, I don't... Oh, yes! Yes! Yes!
Arca Suzaku,
Yes!
let's go!
Yes! Yes!
Let's go!
Yes! Oh my god, it just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. I've been waiting so long. I think I've spoken about Arca on stream every week since we've last fucking seen it.
Dude, let's go. This is confirmation that he can store multiple powers at
Oh,
once.
hell yeah, bro. Because he did not copy Suzaku right now. That was back in the thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Arca, Suzaku. And I love the little close-up on Samura hearing it as well. Suzaku, I knew it. He's replicating my powers. He's trying to heal his hand. Oh, yeah, he is. Oh my god. Finally, Arca is back. Like I said, Arca bros are up. Bro, Shiny, you've been here. Like, do I not speak about Arca like every single fucking chapter that
Every
drops?
time, and I actually
talk about
doubted
Arca,
you.
bro. No,
Dude,
Arca is the way.
I doubted you, but You're right.
How did he copy Suzaku? Did he replicate it permanently? I think we're gonna find out, but yeah, he hasn't copied it since copying Crow, which means copying Crow didn't override it. The only thing, I mean, I guess we also it can't be a one use either, because then he'd only be able to teleport once, right? So like he must just be able to actually store them. Keep reading.
Unless
I love
he
it when
copied so many crows that he can just do them multiple times. You know
right,
what I mean?
yeah, that is a possibility. But like, I love when we're discussing stuff and I get someone in chat who says keep reading. It always just fills me with like, oh, what am I going to see next? You know.
Suzaku's brand new to him. He can't master the skill instantly. That wound took out bone. Ooh, not just flesh.
Oh, so it
It'll
shattered
take
his
10 to
arm.
20 seconds at the very least. Yeah.
Okay,
Damn.
yeah, it just fully shattered his hand. Okay.
Oh, he knows the Masumi are there.
Yeah, he can, because remember last time when they jumped in to help him against that Enseki guys, he was like, "Oh, it's you guys."
Right.
So he does know that they're there very faintly.
What I don't get is why doesn't he just use owl?
To
those
see
are his
everything.
eyes. Yeah.
There was something about owl, like I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's either, oh no, he can use the miniaturized one, because on a scale that he was using it, it was like it will only be able to detect like massive surges in spirit energy, like drawing an enchanted blade. But I guess if you just use a localized one, it should be able to. But they can suppress their, I feel like it's a spirit energy reader still. That's how it detects stuff. So I think they can suppress their energy. Like, I imagine they have an ability where it's like they kind of only use their spirit energy at the moment of impact. Kind of like a Black Flash. You know how that works? Like the lag between spirit cursed energy and impact. It's like, I imagine they just have a really, really small delay. The Masumi are trying to buy time. Why so anxious? Suzaku could heal your eyes. With sight, the Masumi would be powerless against you. Yeah, see, Suzaku could heal your eyes, bro. We've been saying this.
Bro, he's intentionally keeping himself.
Yes, bro. Crazy. It's insane. Bro, Samura, I don't understand. How, I'm sorry, I know you guys want me to keep reading, but I have to say it, like, I don't see how we're currently, like, going through each sword, right? This is what we're doing, right? So, he has the enten, we know what its purpose is. First one up, Cloud Gouger, Sojo, alright? Next one. Okay, we kind of got the Hirohiko Kumayuri thing, that's different. Now it's the Samura plot. After that, we still got 2 other Donis to deal with.
Yep.
How, I'm not talking about power necessarily, but I want to know how the fuck those characters are going to hold a candle to Samura in, like, writing. Like, he's set the bar so unbelievably high for himself that I don't know how he's going to, like...
You'll just have to wait and see.
But we thought the same thing with the previous 2 arcs as well.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Hokuzono cooks.
He's so talented, man. I love it. You're afraid to open your eyes to a future in which you go on living. Shit.
Silence.
Oh.
I know what that future looks like.
Ro is so cool. He's scared to get his eyesight back because of all the stuff that he doesn't want to see. He's so terrified of that image. Like, that's never even happened. He's so scared of that image of, like, I mean, you would be, right? Of walking into your daughter's room and she's fucking hung herself.
You know what I just realized that this kind of is, in a way? It's a consequence of soldiers of war.
Yeah, it's PTSD.
Yeah, except it's not really PTSD because it's not something that happened, but it's something that he thinks could happen. If that makes sense.
No, but I think his stubbornness is, like, low-key PTSD. Like, it's him not being able to see...
Yeah.
Beyond just the unfavorable outcome. He's so, like... Because, again, these guys have seen so much shit. He literally blinded himself, like, even before the war, he blinded himself. Well, it might have been before the war. I don't think we know when it was? No, we do. It was before, or whatever. You get the point. What has he done here then?
Dude,
What is this? Is he? That's him using Suzaku now, right?
I think so. The Masumi are some of the strongest possible adversaries, but even so, they only managed to hold him for under 3 seconds, a mere moment.
Why is
They're
bro
all
saying
flying
sorry?
back.
Oh, he broke Ro's glasses. What a dick.
Damn.
No
Oh,
time
I
to
see what he
heal.
did. He used the Suzaku
Oh,
flames.
yeah, he just did like
Did
a
you
big
know?
shockwave to blast them all away.
Right. Because the flames can either heal you or they can damage you.
Yeah, it's offensive and defensive. Bro, he's
Yeah.
broken, man. God there. No, you're failing to see something important. I love the like how Hokuzono is using this like literally visual imagery. Like he's speaking a lot about like seeing and being blind and opening your eyes. It's so good.
Right?
Like throughout the whole arc, there's this constant theme of seeing, both like metaphorically and literally. It's awesome. Bro thinks he's centipede. Yeah, it's literally effectively a functioning the same way as centipede.
So
Oh,
fire.
what a cool panel. EI White Purity. He's holding the blade. He is holding his blade in his hand.
Yeah. Those 3 seconds were enough time for him to get back his sword.
A mere moment, enough time to re-grip the sword. There's the EI White Purity little spark thing.
Bro, look at his hands, bro. It's like Toto at the end of Shibuya.
Bro. Did we not call this? He didn't heal. He isn't trying to recover. He's pouring it all into an attack. Bro is just gripped the blade with his broken hand.
What?
What an absolute G. I mean, we knew he would because he's the GOAT, but like,
Wait, is he actually gonna win here?
there's no way.
No.
We don't
Is he
care
actu-
how slashed up you get. What does that mean? Oh, as in like he's not scared to hurt him, basically.
Yeah, because he has Suzaku.
Yeah. Oh my god, the reflection of them. You can see the
Oh,
reflection of them
yeah.
clashing. You can literally
Oh,
see
so
the
he turned
reflection of them
around.
clashing.
He turned around in time.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, their blades are clashing right there. Yep.
Interesting.
Oh no, don't end! No!
Oh no.
Bomber claw!
Wait, no. Look closely, look closely. Look at Toby Winner.
Oh, yeah, it's cutting the blade! It's chipped the
It's
blade!
cracked.
It's chipped the
It's
blade, it's
cracked.
chipped the blade, it's chipped the blade. Yeah,
It's
it
cracked.
chipped the blade. Okay, Gucci,
Look at
Gucci,
Toby. Oh
Gucci.
my god, it's
yeah.
cracked.
Bro, this is what I'm saying. He's like... It's so cool, but it has to be something to do with Arca. Like, he's absorbed like Tobimune's powers, and now he's able to fight on a better ground. This is why Hokuzono has been holding Arca for so long, because it's the key to channeling the blades. You mix Enten's own power with the power of the other blades, and it lets you kind of level the playing field a bit. It's awesome.
Dude, I'm looking at this now and I'm thinking to myself, if he actually fully breaks Tobimune in the next chapter,
He might.
then both of their plans go into the trash.
Well, actually,
think.
I doubt he will break it. I think if Hokuzono wanted him to break the blade here, I think he would have shown the blade breaking as the final panel. I feel like leaving it as a cliffhanger like this to make you think it's broken, it would be quite underwhelming if the first page next week is just it breaking.
Okay.
I think if he wanted a big cliffhanger, he would break it. I think it will just chip it, and then Samura will realize that he can actually hurt the blade.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, let's say he breaks it fully, right?
Hmm.
Samura doesn't get to revive the other people.
Yeah. Well, that depends on how Arca works, right?
Yeah, but he says it's like
Because if he breaks it,
it's
then
like a novice.
he
with
has no
Arca.
choice but to go along with. Yeah, but then as long as he has Suzaku stored and can use it again, which it seems like is a possibility. We don't know for sure, but it is a possibility now.
Right.
He'll have no choice but to go along with Chihiro's plan, because then the only way to carry out his own plan is like with Chihiro Suzaku.
Yeah.
But then that means he's going to have to accept the fact that Chihiro is probably going to save him.
Dude, he's not gonna like that, bro.
No, he's not gonna like it at all because he just deadass wants to die. But it's this panel here that is just, I felt so much vindication when I read, I'll show you how you can live, and then finally, like, there's a reason we haven't seen Arca until this chapter. It's because Hokuzono had this planned for a while, and he wanted the build-up of Arca. It's exactly how I said. Chihiro's plan is to use Suzaku to save Samura in the way that he didn't think was possible. It's awesome. It's so good.
True. And I'm thinking, let's say he loses his sword in the near future. Then he also loses his role as sword bearer, so he can live with his daughter guilt-free. Or at least not guilt-free, but like, there's no imminent threat that the Hishaku are gonna use her against him.
Yeah, he'll have no use to anybody.
Yeah, because he's not an asset anymore.
Yeah. Crazy how if season 1 goes up to like chapter 59 or 60, this is going to be like episode 9 or 10 of season 2.
Oh, yeah.
Guys. Yeah, no, I get what he's saying. He's like, this is like, if they are 24 episode seasons, all of this is like barely halfway into season 2. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the pacing-wise, it's going to be like watching Shibuya, bro. We just go from, like, well, 100 to 100. It's just literally, it's going to be, like, straight peak. Oh, my God. Bro, we're not going to see this until, like, it's going to be, like, 2030 when we see this.
Dude, don't say that, bro.
It's true, bro. It's true. Maybe 2029 if we're, like, really lucky.
Oh, I hate that you're right.
If they fumble the Kagurabachi anime, I'll fly to Japan myself and start throwing hands. I wonder the Pinky Promise thing Samura did with Yura will come back and hurt him if he works with Chihiro. I don't think it will hurt him if he works with Chihiro. I think he just has to deliver on the promise, which he can. Well, is it like?
How would he do that if his
does
sword
he have
breaks?
to be the one to kill them?
I think so.
Yo, what's good, Mike Up? Chapter was insane. Chapter was a mental, bro. But Mike Up, the prediction, my legendary prediction came true. I mean, to be fair, I'm definitely not the only person that said this because it's not that hard to figure out, I guess. But I'm gonna take all the credit because fuck you guys. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, because I'm going back to chapter 59 right now, and yeah, Yura says that he has to make good on his promise.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I guess it's not like a binding vow where they can not break the contract. I guess it's just like if he does X, then he automatically gets Y. But it's not like if he doesn't do X, then there'll be a consequence. I don't know how that works in Kagurabachi.
I mean, we don't know at all, do we? So like,
no.
Yeah, it's
because right now he's
tricky one.
I assumed it to be that he's forced to kill the remaining sword bearers, and as soon as he does that, then Yura makes good on his end of the promise, which is like reveal the other members, reveal who leaked Rokuhira's location, and reveal the whereabouts of the enchanted blades.
Mm-hmm. So do you think it's just like if he doesn't do it, he just doesn't get it? Whereas if he does do it, he's guaranteed to get it. That could
right. I think it's like that.
Be the case, yeah. Working on the reaction video right now. Lost my shit when the Masumi appeared. I can imagine, bro. I lost my shit when Arca appeared. God damn. What was I reading? I swear the fish he used to teleport was Kuro fish, not Arca. But I could be wrong. Look at it. Yeah, no, it is a Kuro fish. But he used Arca. Because, like,
To teleport Kuro.
Yeah, the fish are just kind of... The fish are just fish.
Like the feathers.
Yeah, they're like the feathers. It's like a medium, kind of. But he used the ability Arca to teleport from... Because, like, Crow isn't the feather. Crow is the teleport, right? As an ability. And the feathers are, like, how it's done.
The feathers are just a byproduct of Tobimune.
Yeah, they're a medium. Same with the fish. It's how you detect stuff. It's like how you scout stuff out. And it's a medium for you to use the, shit, what's it called? Arca, that's it. There we go. If you're in a VC, I'd be down to join the discussion. Fuck yeah, bro. How do I... Oh, again, Jade is not going to respond. Actually, Mike Up, you're a good one to get in the server. Wait, let me see if I still have that invite. I beg, still have the invitation? Invite invalid. Fuck. Orion, are you still in the chat? Orion, bust me an invite.
Wait, you know you can just make an invite yourself, right?
No, I can't.
What do you mean?
I can't.
I can.
Oh, then you send me an invite then, and I'll send it to Mike Up.
Oh wait, never mind. It says I need permission.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Orion is the only one he's given perms to, simply because, well, it was mainly just to spite Josh. Orion, if you're still in the stream, I beg. I know you sit here and watch these. Oh, he's not online. Bombaclaw. Actually, well, we can just go to... What call are you in, Mike Up? I want to discuss this shit with you, bro. We're in Jaded's, he says. Like, bro, how is that useful? Now he knows where we are. You can't get here, but you know where we are now, at least. Yeah, no one's gonna respond, but because only 2 people in the whole fucking server can give out invites. Oh, yes, Orion responded. Boss man, an invite ting to the Brev. Need to get Mike Up in here ASAP. Creator, legit, he cool. Vouch. It'd be good to kind of get him in here anyway, I think.
Dude,
let's go.
I'm looking at the first 2 pages again, and I'm rereading some of the dialogue and just trying to think of all the scenarios in my head. And before Chihiro says that he's Kunishige's son, Samura is thinking back to the time when he asked Chihiro what his goals were. And he was like, I want to be a swordsmith, just like my dad. And I feel like those 2 things were said this close in proximity to each other because last chapter we got the reveal that he did indeed make enten with his dad. So when Samura says that it's a burden from the past, it's not his burden to shoulder, Chihiro is saying, no, you're wrong. I made enten specifically to tackle this. Well, he made it with his dad, of course, but you get what I mean.
Yeah. His dad's the GOAT, bro. I need a backstory for Kunishige so bad. Please. I want that flashback arc, bro. Realistically, it's probably quite far off. Maybe not, actually. I don't see an end to this arc, like... Because we still got the whole Hishaku thing going on. I feel like that's going to be its... I think that's going to be its own thing. I think we're going to probably keep wrapping up this Samura stuff. I think we're going to wrap it up, and then we're going to go, like, full Hishaku raid mode. Hopefully. Okay, chat, let me know what you think about this. A friend of mine, IRL friend, has just hit me up going, have you heard of Lord of Mysteries? Chinese anime, looks amazing. Very intriguing story so far, would recommend. And then he's gone, no big titty monsters though, as if that's some reason why I wouldn't watch it. But yeah, Lord of Mysteries. Anyone recommend? Anyone heard of it? Any good? Shiny?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it? No, neither have I. Actually, I think I've seen it around, but from what I've heard of Chinese anime is that they're all animation and no anything else. I've heard the animation drops off. Okay, so not even animation then. The Chinese Jujutsu sorcerer that Sukuna feared. Bro, we can't start this shit again. Allons, bro, I can't join funny. VC until I get permission to see shit. Bro, I know, I've asked. Trust me, I've put it in general. I've put it in general. Bro, but there's only Orion like
hurry up.
There's like 2 dudes who can verify you in the whole server, bro. I'll ask Orion. You verify and give roll. Maybe. Jaded gave you perms. Might as well use them, otherwise what exactly is the point of you? Bitch. Ass. I mean, goat. So much.
Did you just blackmail him?
I can't see him. What do you mean you can't see him? He's in the server, bro. Find him. You blind? What's his name? Mikup. M-I-C-U-P. He's in the server. Right. Now, Jaded keeps talking about how he wants to get more creators in here, but he's the only guy who can fucking add people. Right, dude, I'm trying to get creators in here, man. It's a good creator space for creators. Shows with 16 episodes. AOT Final Season Part 1. Okay, that doesn't count as... You can't... I hate the way Attack on Titan formatted that final season. It was split into 4 parts, released over like 5 years. For a single season? What? Tell him to look up Mikup Invincible, then I'll pop up. I think he means in Discord, bro, not on YouTube. Let me see if I can find you. Pardon me. Oh, I can't. What the Sigma?
Can you not just check the members list and then put from top to bottom who joined last?
Is that a thing?
Yeah. I can do it on my server.
Like
settings, members, and then join method, or no, joined, or member since. It's the second tab. For the second column, I should say.
Ryan's got no idea how to use his powers, bro. This guy's a bum. It's weird. I can't actually see him either.
Yeah, because you don't have mod.
Has he written something in verify? I can't even see that. Oh, bro, fuck this, man. Mikup, if you have another fucking call, we'd be happy to just jump in that for a few minutes.
Just DM. Yeah, go on a DM call. Yeah.
I can just do that. Wait one sec. Yo.
Oh, alright. Can you hear me?
Yo, I can. Let me get Shiny in. Oh, I haven't got Shiny as a friend, bro. What a burger. Add as friend. Shiny. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was good.
Took long enough. God damn.
Alright.
Okay, let me check out these double spreads now then, I guess. Right, yeah, shiny, mic up, shiny.
Yeah. All right. Nice to meet you, man.
Likewise.
Nice. Right, there
Likewise.
goes the
All right. That chapter, though, I mean, I think the thing that's really kind of really hooked me on that chapter is I'm still trying to figure out what can Arca actually like absorb and copy.
yeah.
Because like, remember when he was fighting Hirohiko and he's like, "Oh, Arca can't absorb the paper sorcery, but it can absorb the crow feathers." So is it like anything with spirit energy in it? So does that mean like Hirohiko's paper sorcery didn't have any spirit energy in the paper itself?
I think there's just a good chance Hirohiko was dumb as shit, I'm not gonna lie.
Gonna be real, probably, yeah. Yeah.
I think it was just speculation, like, because I don't see why he would be able to, like, copy Crow by slicing one of the feathers and not something like a crane sorcery by just, doing the same thing.
From how I understood it, it's because the cranes are made out of real objects, as in matter, physical matter.
Oh, that might be it as well, yeah.
I mean, yeah, true,
And
true.
they're
And
simply
would
being
that mean the feathers are just like pure spirit energy?
Yeah, they're like the fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like the
Alright,
fish.
true, true, true. Okay, wait, I got the chapter part right here, so I'm just looking through
And
it.
even then, it's been shown that he can copy, like either the effect or the move itself, and he can just he can choose what part of the technique to copy.
Yeah,
Because for example, with Daruma's ability where he explodes the dolls in like the first arc, when he absorbed that, he only absorbed the explosion, but not the doll itself, and like the ability to manipulate the doll.
it's the same with Mei, right?
Versus when right, and when he absorbed Flamebone, he got like the entire skeleton arm thing on his sword.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least, well, not the entire thing, but like parts of it were starting to attach onto his sword. So I think he can choose what he copies and what he doesn't.
There is also a limit as well, because of he can copy anything that comes into contact with it, but I still find it crazy that he absorbed that May Blast from Sojo. But when he took like a holding back punch from Hiyuki's Flamebone, he was like, but that shit was so strong I couldn't even absorb all of it. Like he only absorbed a portion of that. So there is a limit to like, I assume it will grow as Chihiro grows, obviously. But there is an upper limit to the amount of power. So he can't just like absorb I don't know, let's say Centipede, for example, if like he got smacked with a
Here's the
something
line
like
from
that.
Hirohiko right here. Perhaps your power to absorb doesn't apply to physical objects. The fact that you don't use it is my answer.
Yeah, although I do wonder, like, what
That's never explained.
Chihiro wouldn't really have anything to gain from using Hirohiko sorcery there either, though. It's the only thing that kind of
Yeah.
is a bit like,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right in that physical objects probably not, but if it's just like
Does that imply that
sorcerer
like
energy,
when sorceries create objects, those are like them actually creating matter? Because like this,
What I
like it's
understand,
not
no.
like Hirohiko just has like a stack of paper on him when he was using paper sorcery, but he was physically making the paper himself.
No,
I don't think he was he?
he prepared it in
Oh, wait, did he
advance.
just like have paper on
I
him?
think he does just have paper,
Yeah.
and he imbues
Okay, but
spirit
yeah,
energy
but like
into his
in that
paper.
one shot where in the theater, there's like a thousands pieces of, like there's like thousands of paper in that theater.
Yeah.
I don't think he had all that on him.
I think he
Yeah.
prepared it in advance.
Let me. What chapter was it?
He kind of like squishes his hands and like paper just flies out.
55. Nope.
I'm looking at chapter 53 is when they do that huge storm of the paper.
Okay. Let me go see that. 53. All right. Yeah, that's a lot of paper. Yeah, to be fair, I don't think Bro is carrying that much paper. That's an interesting one then. Okay.
So does that imply like, because like now I'm thinking about like the characters like none of those two brothers Azami fought for that one chapter.
Yeah.
Like those two created like chains and like I don't know what kind of spikes it was, if it was like ice or rock. So does that would like those objects would Chihiro not be able to absorb them? Because that could mean like an enchanted blade's weakness, or at least in Chihiro's case, could literally just be sorcery.
I don't know. Like now that I know that Hirohiko is. But okay, yeah, no, you might actually be right on that because I guess there is still a difference between the feathers and the fish, in that the paper is Hirohiko's ability. So
Yeah.
so the ability is
So
he like actually just created paper, whereas the fish and crow are just a manifestation, like a medium. So I
yeah.
guess
So in like
yeah, that could be a difference.
I think here, I guess that means like Hatch, like you know that one Hishaku who has like that really like insane root sorcery and he uses it to like destroy buildings and shit. Would that guy be like an awful matchup for Chihiro because he could just like not absorb that at all?
I mean, in theory, yeah, if that's how it works. But I think what's most likely, honestly, is that he probably could just cop. I think he could use Arca on Hirohiko. I think Hirohiko is yeah. Someone said in chat, Hirohiko is just speculating. I imagine is
I mean,
probably
the
because
line he says is, wait, let me get it right here. Say, perhaps your power to absorb doesn't apply to physical objects. The fact that you don't use it is my answer. Being because he's like actively nearly killing people with the paper, and you know, like Jiro has a very big morality with that, where if he can do anything to prevent a person's death in front of him, he will. So the fact he's not doing like something like that to save these people probably means he can't actually use it like that.
but I think you can turn it the other way and go like Hirohiko can't comprehend that the reason Chihiro isn't copying the ability and using it in the same way Hirohiko is because it's quite a like what Hirohiko's doing is it's a wide ranged kind of
True. But
spaced
like
out
I
attack
guess
and
that one panel when all the crows like just like sliced through him, like he could have like if he could have used Akka, he could have used it right there to absorb every single one of those papers instead of like getting his whole body to cut up.
but I think he has to make contact, no?
From what I understood about
Like
Hirohiko's ability is that um he has an ability to manipulate paper, and that's the ability, not like the paper itself. That's
yeah,
how
but
I understood it.
he does create the paper though. Like we can
Yeah.
see him
Because there's
create
like
it.
thousands of pieces of paper in this like it covers the entire theater. There's no way he could have carried that on him without having like
Yeah,
just a straight up bag, a ton of paper in it.
he definitely creates it. But I think the idea is because again it's what Yoro was saying about Hirohiko's sorcery is shit. But he's so good with it
Yeah.
that he's made it. So like, his sorcery, I think, is create paper. It's like Mei, right? It's like your sorcery is
Yeah.
dog shit, bro. You just control birds, but then you are so skilled and you hone it to the point where you're like really lethal with it. So I do think creating paper is part of the sorcery. It's just really bad.
Yeah. I think that's my guess for it, of how Akka works, where it's Akka can absorb things that are like if it's created by spirit energy, like the flame bones blasts of
yeah,
flames,
Peter is like the
those
Runa.
are just pure spirit energy, or something like Firefly that Shinichi used, like when he's like, oh, I could have absorbed that with Akka, or I could have countered it with my absorbed flame bone. So like those kinds of blasts that are just pure spirit energy, he can absorb those. But like a sorcery that physically creates an actual physical object, I don't think he can absorb that. And I think that's
Yeah.
gonna like be like later on when he's fighting Hishaku members, I think that's gonna end up being his downfall. Like I think he's gonna end up like maybe not losing a fight, but maybe not being able to fully defeat someone.
Yeah, no, I see that. I think the distinction is like I imagine with Hirohiko's paper, once it's created, it now exists. Like I think if Hirohiko gets knocked out, it's not like the paper's gonna despawn. Whereas if
Yeah. Like when he's bleeding and he lost both arms, all that paper is still around them.
yeah,
That doesn't
exactly.
disappear. It's just there now.
So I think if you manifest like if you create a physical thing that now exists, then Chihiro probably can't copy that. But again, I still think it's a possibility that he just had no reason to do it because from what we've seen of Arca, I believe so far he has to actually like slice it with his blade to absorb it or like make contact with the blade.
True. I
Because
feel like that could be used as a very interesting plot point in a fight. Or like, let's say out of this battle with Samura, whether Samura is straight up like defeated and taken in, or is just like gets away and tried to find a way to like heal his blade. I feel like that could be a very interesting plot point. Like Chihiro's coming out of this a lot stronger. He could be like more cocky, and you could end up going against someone like I don't know, let's say Kuguri or Yura, and he ends up slipping up because he like makes that mistake of my ability can't absorb actual created objects. and that ends up being his downfall in the fight.
Well, I mean, I think unfortunately for him, Arca is like the perfect counter to Kuguri. But I see that
Yeah.
being a thing.
Well,
Like,
I mean, I guess it's a better question if he actually creates an explosion or it's spiritual energy.
no, I think something like that is it would be no different to like Mei is just he just creates and fires lightning, but he still managed to just absorb lightning. I don't see why it'd be any different to that.
Check something. I'm kind of curious about this now.
Because I think what you said
And
about the
the
chains
ability-
is a good example. I doubt he'd be
Yeah.
able to replicate the chains.
Yeah. Okay, Kuguri's sorcery enables him to store heat generated by his body during battle and unleash it. Okay, no, this isn't spiritual energy. It's genuinely just like fire and heat. Like he's like actually he's like just straight up he's like doing like Bakugo from My Hero. He's just shooting off an actual explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be like I think he could get tripped up by that.
I see what you
I
mean.
imagine there could be a fight where like Chihiro's fighting someone and they hit him with a blast and he tries to use Akka, but it's like it's not actual spiritual energy. It's a genuine creation. I feel like that could be a very interesting kind of counter.
Yeah, that does seem like the kind of intricate detail you'd expect to find in a power system like this. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I understand what you mean. Like
Yeah.
him absorbing like the sorcery that he uses spirit energy for is storing up the heat, but then when he releases it, it is just the raw heat. It doesn't like transmute it from spirit energy.
Yeah.
It's like literally is the heat that's been stored up.
Like the biggest way I could say the difference between these two things is Samura's feathers, those disappear after he's used the enchanted blade with them. Like there's a scene when he teleports and leaves Iori alone on the roof. After when we next see Iori on the roof again, all those feathers are gone. They've all disappeared because they're pure spiritual energy, and then the spiritual energy spikes in them when he uses them for teleportation.
Yeah.
And the same goes for those goldfish that like appear when Chihiro uses his ability. The lightning, the water, the ice that Sojo creates, all that disappears after it's used. Like he creates a huge glacier when he's fighting the anti-cloud gadger force, and then when we cut to that scene of Kazane on the water, when and we could see like the background of those giant stones that what's her name again? That one Kaminabi Ember made. Like those are still there because those are like she's just like morphing the area around her and creating stone.
Yeah.
So like those stay there because those are like new created and already created physical objects. However, the huge glacier Sojo formed is gone.
Yeah, I think there is
because that's yeah.
The way the blades work as well is it's like it's the what do they call it, Datenseki reaction or something, where it's a manifestation of spirit energy.
Oh,
that's
wait a minute.
What they use to describe right?
I think I just got something. Okay, remember how Shiba explains the flame bone as he's like it's sorcery, but it's more similar to an enchanted blade. Is that why Chihiro couldn't absorb the whole thing? Because it was partially a physically created object and it was partially spiritual energy.
I doubt it, because if it works like an enchanted blade, then it's more likely he can absorb it. Because again, the way enchanted blades works is it's all the abilities are physical manifestations of spirit energy, is how they work, right? So
I think it's just straight up said that it was too much energy for him to absorb at once.
Yeah, I think it is about that was just so strong that he couldn't absorb it all at that point.
Even Red didn't fully absorb it. Its spiritual energy is immense, so this is Flamebone. Yeah, you're right about that. He says it's too much spiritual energy.
Yeah. But that doesn't disprove anything to do with
the Flamebone of the Starving. The Flamebone is similar to Sacred Blades. It has powers beyond regular sorcery. That could be interesting though. Oh yeah, I remember I had this little theory because we know that Hiyuki and Shiba are currently guarding the other two blade wielders.
Yeah.
So that means that the Hishaku are probably going to send people to go after those other two blade wielders. And after learning about how Kuguri's sorcery works, he would probably be a really good counter to Hiyuki. Considering his body literally works off of, if I get like more worked up, more heated in battle, my blasts become stronger. And if he's fighting someone who literally generates flames, that could end up working more in his favor.
That's really good. I 100% see that being a matchup. 100%.
Like I could imagine like the final panel of the spread is a flame bast is shot off, and we don't know if it's the flame bone or if it was Kuguri.
Yeah, because honestly, that is such a good matchup where Kuguri can then just like actually become as strong, or like even without an enchanted blade, he'd probably be able to reach close to Hiyuki's level simply based off the fact that he can absorb and then store up the heat that Hiyuki throws at him, right? So that's a really, really good and pretty even matchup.
Yeah. That could really work against her. And I'm assuming they have one of those like heavy hitters for each blade wielder. Like,
yeah, I'd assume so.
Shiba is probably with the pink bearer, like the female bearer, and I don't know why, but I just feel like it would be more in line if Yuki was with the Subaru, with the guy. I think his name is Subaru, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always kind of was curious about that. He's got a burn mark on his face. So I was always kind of curious if maybe that was tied to like maybe he tried to train Hiyuki or something, and there ended up being a kind of a disagreement. Could have been some sort of fight, and that's where he got his burn scar from. But I've always kind of leaned to maybe it was from the war instead.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine there'll be some Hiyuki lore drop at some point, because like you can't just say, "Oh, this is Hiyuki, the Kamanabi's strongest fighter, wields a weapon like on Enchanted Blade level," and there has to be something that ties it kind of in. So
there's also the amount of merch she gets is also kind of a dead giveaway that like she's going to be important. You don't give someone that much merch if they're not important. This isn't that one sorcerer from Hidden Inventory Arc who was Nanami's partner and just fucking died off screen. This isn't that one guy.
Yeah, no. Like I think Hiyuki's like Hiyuki, Azami, Shiba, even though they had early introductions, they get constantly, like, even in the arcs where they're not present, they always get mentioned, right? They always get, like, compared in strength. Hokuzono builds them up, and as we've kind of seen with the recent Azami payoff, or, like, the tease for the Azami payoff, I think those three especially are going to be very important characters late game, who we're not going to see, like, properly go all out. It feels like they're the heavy hitters, you know? And it's like, you're not going to get to see them really... you know, you go all out until it's really the time, because there's no need for that right now.
Yeah, my guess is we're gonna get a wrap on the Samura stuff, and we're gonna it's either gonna be he's like detained or he's gonna get away. I'm probably leaning toward get away. I feel like his role is too important for him to be out just yet.
Agreed.
And
yeah, I think with this chapter, I am now very certain that he will not die in this arc.
No, he's not. He's way too important. He's got too many surrounding kind of things, especially the Yura thing. I feel like a lot of people forgot about that promise, and I feel like that's going to be really important.
He's a much more long-term character.
Fully I think the Pinky promise was like a kind of so if later he found out that there was another way to fix this problem, I think the Pinky promise was his like insurance that like even if I find a solution to this, I can't like get myself out of this, because he's very selfishly selfless with this, where it's like he's doing a very selfless thing, but he's being very selfish about it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think Mike up. Oh, so you want to say?
Oh yeah, pardon?
Go ahead, Shiny, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna spin back to your original topic with like the physical matter.
Yeah.
I found something in chapter 1 and chapter 4. Chapter 1, the tree guy from the Hishaku, the pine tree sorcerer, he says that the tree will vanish in time.
I think Samura will not die but loses power.
And in chapter 4,
his will to fight and want to live peacefully with his daughter after Chihiro destroys Tobimune. Yeah, I see that being a thing. I think he'll probably... There's a much higher odds that he'll live now based off Chihiro's plan to save him.
Normal sorcery creates objects, but they're still spiritual objects. It's kind of... So there's like 3 categories: real physical objects created by sorcery, and pure spirit energy. That's kind of what I'm understanding.
Okay, yeah. That's interesting. That's really interesting.
The pure spirit energy seems to be the more sensory ones. Like
that is totally going to get used against Chihiro in the future. There's so going to be a scene when where he thinks he can absorb something and he gets psyched out of it. I feel like there's too much of a little setup there.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like that will totally be a moment when he's fighting someone in the Hishaku who are like considered like the pinnacle of sorcery. Like maybe it's one of who were their 3 strongest members again? It was Hatshaku, the samurai Azami is fighting, and then the female member. Like he'll be fighting one of them, and he's gonna like confuse their sorceries, and he's gonna end up getting like maybe a major blow taken to him.
I mean, I think you've like honestly hit the nail on the head there with there seems to be 3 main heavy hitters split between that aren't like the main dudes. So you've got obviously Chihiro and Yura, I feel like is, you know, main character final boss type shit. He's the one who ordered like Kunishige's death. There's a obviously that's the kind of final rivalry, I feel like. And then you have the 3 Hishaku that actually killed Kunishige, and then you have like Shiba, Azami, and Hiyuki. I wouldn't be surprised if there are some matchups made between those 2. We're already seeing Samurai and Azami. I imagine Shiba will probably fight maybe Hishaku, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm very...
I mean, they're both teleportation users, so that could be pretty cool to see. Even if Shiba's obviously probably superior one. Hishaku has this one feat that's always kind of bothered me because it's like, it's weirdly really overpowered because he was able to like blitz Shiba's perception in the Sojo arc, where he's able to like the moment Shiba notices he's watching the fight, he's already gone.
Wait, watching, when was that?
In the versus Sojo arc, when in the literal last chapter of the arc, when Shiba comes back to the fight and helps Chihiro onto his feet, Hishaku is watching them by the gate, and the moment Shiba notices, he's already gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, look.
So that's a really like, that's just a really random thing he does. But like when you start to think about it, that's a really like incredible speed feat. To be like that,
he teleported with the flames.
True, but like that means he had to sense that Shiba noticed him and then react before Shiba managed to like, it's obviously see him and like visually.
That's interesting. But I think there's a slightly more clear speed feat that I would put Shiba higher because
oh no, Shiba's definitely higher, but I think it's just like to show that like maybe Hishaku has more in him than we're led to believe.
Oh, I
because
think
he obviously
like I would say based off like what I was saying before, Azami's fighting Samurai. With the way they've been interacting and have the teleport thing, I think Shiba Hishaku is a matchup. And I think woman versus woman, we have Hiyuki versus whoever the fuck that woman is, bro. I think that is a very strong like 3-way matchup that I see being a thing. They line up perfectly, especially since we now have confirmation that Samurai dude is fighting Azami. That's literally 1 out of 3 already done.
I had another I had a video I never finished where I was literally just doing this, like trying to figure out who was going to be whose matchup. And I remember there was no reason this matchup should happen, but the idea of Hishaku getting trapped in Hakuri's storehouse and being able to create his own platform with his roots and then clashing with Hakuri controlling his like storehouse, like how Kiora did, would just be really visually cool. Yeah. Like I don't think that's going to happen, but the idea of that, like the paneling for that would be insane.
Yeah. I think there's just so much matchup potential. I feel like honestly, it's the way Hokuzono is like, he's just edging us with
that little panel right there.
Yeah,
that little panel right there. He's gone the moment Shiba notices him.
Is he there with like a suitcase? Like what?
Yeah, it was the that's the Datenshiki. He stole it. He stole it from Sojo's mansion the moment he died.
Well,
that's a good thing that you picked up on because I never realized what he took with him.
Yeah, no, it's the same suitcase you see when Yura's talking to Kiora, and he's like, "This is Sojo's legacy."
Oh,
listen, I'm just saying though, I've only heard the theory recently about them being used to spy on things, but I've been sus of these plants. I called these plants out fucking ages ago. I was like, there's something up with these weird like bonsai tree.
Yeah, for a while I kind of thought like, oh, maybe that's just how Hokuzono draws trees. But as this series goes on, I'm starting to be more and more like, I don't think Hokuzono does coincidences.
Oh, bro, these trees are sus. They're everywhere. Like they're scattered throughout the city. My initial theory, like this is back in, I think it was around when chapter 40. It was like mid Rakuzaichi, right? And my theory then was that there was a tree everywhere that like a Hishaku had been or like was operating in, like that area.
That's cool. I like that idea.
But then it was like there was one in Samura's like back garden, and then there was just some. I think there was some other ones that were just kind of like, okay, well, I don't know why the Hishaku would be there, or at that time,
like the hotel, right? The hotel.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why is there already a tree there? Do you know what I mean? Like, but
yeah,
the spying thing is just having them plastered throughout the city as being like almost
Like,
similar
also,
to the fish or the crow or the feathers. You know, it's just a way of monitoring everything.
Hishaku's always kind of interested me because this dude, he seems to be like the most like maybe not the most like intelligent because Yura knows like everything that's going on.
He's the
But
most
he's like
involved.
the most yeah, like the stuff he can do with his sorcery, we haven't seen another sorcerer do that on page. Like
Yeah,
Shiba is strong, Zombie is really strong, but like how creative he gets with it, no one else is like that. Like
yeah, he's
him and
dangerous,
Yura
man.
were able to like plan a way for him to like block off Chihiro's like going to fight
Oh
like going to
yeah,
help out
true.
Hakuri. Because like you at for a while, I thought that Yura had that sorcery as well, and it always kind of confused me. But as it goes on, I'm like, I think Hachaku is generally just that good with his sorcery that he's able to be that far away and still help Yura.
But I have a another proposition which I can't believe I haven't thought of. I know not everyone's on board with this idea, but let's entertain the possibility for the moment that Yura or Hatshaku or both, because I feel like those two are, I think they have been, I want to say friends for like a long time. I think they're in this together, right?
I would assume they're the original two members
Yeah,
of the
I'd say
Hishaku.
so.
They feel the most knitted together.
If they are from the island originally, which is a theory of mine,
Hmm?
then we do need to consider the possibility that they can wield those Daten Seki weapons with no consequences.
True.
I think that's something that...
Oh, that's always kind of that gave me an idea when I remembered that thing about them. You know how Hatshaku has that black eye, right?
Yeah.
And it's always kind of weird because like no one else kind of has that, and the only other times we've seen black eyes is when it's related to the Shinichi.
Mm-hmm.
So my assumption was always about, we learned it took Yura 3 years to remove the seal on the thing.
Yeah.
My assumption has always been that Hishaku was the one who originally tried to do it, and that's how they
Oh,
learned about like the ability to control the blade because it started to like also take him over,
I
and like
see.
that's why he has that permanent kind
Ah.
of stain on his eye.
Yeah, that's a
Maybe
real
that's what made him the
possibility.
calculated person he is, where he kind of learned from that.
Yeah, no, I see that. Well, I mean, yeah, it seems like it's probably a battle scar in some way, either from like them failing at something, or even just if they were involved with enchanter blades before this point. It does look like a mark left by something to do with Daten-Seki, I would assume.
Yeah. It feels like it has to be with the Shinichi, because the Shinichi's is like that's the only thing with the black eyes.
Yeah, and I think it's the only thing they've really tampered with as well.
Yeah. But also,
Interesting.
what would be the reason that Yura wants to wield the Shinichi? Because is he trying to like repay the favor of what happened to the Islanders, or is there like another reason behind it?
I think
Dude,
he's
I don't remember who I told. It might have been you, Alonso, or it might have been Tiberius, but I was discussing that very topic, and I think that it's all just a red herring. Because the way how Yura works is like he's super meticulous about everything, that he plans everything, right? Down to
yeah,
like the
Yeah.
finest details. And then when he's asked about what his goals are, it's like the most simple, basic,
yeah,
like it's not a very impressive goal, basically. For all the planning that you're doing, the result that you want is not, it's not lining up, right? And I think that he's just saying that that's his goal in order to push Chihiro into a certain direction. And I think that he's doing that because at some point he also said that Chihiro was still very green, right?
yeah,
I think that was him that was saying that.
yeah,
So I think that all of this, Yura it's kind of like an Aizen thing where he's trying to
Ooh, I
make
like that.
Chihiro go down a certain path in order to break the Shinichi, the Magatsumi, so that his island is free to once again be inhabited.
yeah. I see that. So as in like
That could be really cool. That could be a really cool idea.
he's playing this like
I,
villain role, actually be the
yeah,
villain.
that could also explain why, like, although the Hishaku are like, they're an organization of criminals and they do a lot of like messed up stuff, but there seems to be, besides Hirohiko, because Hirohiko is like a psychopath, there seems to be some sort of like they keep a very honest kind of thing. Like with the when they
Yeah.
took those people captive, like it amazed me that they actually let them out. Like
Mhm.
that's still that felt like
They have a
and also
code.
the fact that yeah,
They're
they have a
evil, but they have
code.
a code. Yeah.
The only people I've seen break the code are Kuguri when he. Well, I mean, we don't know if he killed that teacher, but like he obviously cut that dude. And then Hirohiko, but Hirohiko is a psychopath, so there's not much going. There's not much to argue with Hirohiko. But
Oh,
it seems with the other people, they seem to obey a very strict code of authority, where they're like, we keep our word, and we go by it, and we do this with minimum casualties.
Right. And maybe not necessarily minimal casualties, but maybe just as long as someone isn't getting in their way, they don't make them an innocent casualty. Whereas, for example,
Yeah.
the teacher that you just brought up that Kuguri killed, maybe he did that because he was getting in his way. And Hirohiko, he's just kind of a loose cannon. But I think like
Yeah.
the top two guys, the Pine Tree Sorcerer and Yura, I think that those two have a code.
yeah. I mean, I was gonna find there was something really interesting I noticed when I was scripting a Rakazaichi. But do you know what chapter it is that Chihiro fights Yura? Oh wait, I've got it. Okay, right. When Chihiro notices something very interesting. Ah, okay. It's this moment here. People don't talk about it enough. I'm gonna send it in the thing. There. And this. This is the supposedly.
Yeah, you've really grown.
Yeah. And
Okay,
then,
one thing that's always kind of bothered me about that is when he goes, "Oh, you've really grown." He wasn't at Kunishiki's death. He's never seen Chihiro before. So how does he like?
yeah.
What does that mean?
That's
Was that just to like
exactly-
piss him off?
That's what Chihiro says. He's thinking to himself, growing up, what the fuck? He wasn't there that time, but he's one of them.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. But it seems to be like very strongly suggests that either they've like met before and Chihiro was too young and can't remember it, or he's like been keeping an eye on Chihiro, which is very possible, and then Chihiro wouldn't have a clue.
Do you think he was there at I mean, we don't really know the exact timeline of when the Sword Saint went insane. So my assumption has always been that like the Sword Saint completely lost his mind when Chihiro was born, because I've always kind of leaned towards the idea that Chihiro is like the son of a regular like, of like a person off island and a person from the Islanders. And that's what
Mhm.
made the Sword Saint like completely lose it and go against their treaty.
Yeah.
My
Really?
idea has always been that maybe Yura was there when it happened and he saw Chihiro just when he was born.
I think
Hmm.
from that like interaction between them, my
Hmm.
theory would be that instead of him just spying on Chihiro, I think it's more likely that Yura has in some way been around Chihiro or met Chihiro or been around when he was too young to remember. So I think Yura definitely has some relation to somebody, and I'm about to show you something which I've been obsessed with for such a long time now. Here it is. You both watched or have seen Naruto, right?
Yeah, I've seen
Right.
Naruto.
There's this. I'm use the example to describe what it looks like. The Hokazono has a specific way of drawing eyes. Yeah. And
Yeah,
bro,
there's the little loops. Yeah,
The-
the little loops.
this like Rinnegan type shit that he's been given these characters, specific characters only, right? It's
Yura has
this-
always reminded me of Pain, and Pain
Yeah.
has those multiple bodies he can control.
Oh,
Maybe there
interesting.
could be
and
something
they've-
there.
That's what I kind of. That's very interesting you say that, because there's another kind of parallel as well with the markings
like,
and like piercings that he gives.
I have
some
another
characters.
yeah, I have like a video that like I've been putting back because I want to work on my other stuff. But it's just that I noticed as I was reading, almost every Hishaku has a relation or a reference to a member of the what are they called again? I can't believe I forgot. The villain group from Naruto, the
Akatsuki.
Akatsuki.
Yeah.
Hirohiko has the reference to Conan, which is the paper sorcery.
Yeah.
Kuguri is a swordsman who thrives for battle, much like Kisame.
Yeah.
I've always kind of assumed that one dude with he has like the jean mask and he helped tie Hirohiko's arm back together. So I kind of assumed that he could be a reference to the puppeteer from the Akatsuki, and maybe he could be using threads and puppets just like he did.
Yeah.
Yura literally has a Renegon, so it's most likely this is a little Pain reference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the question
And-
is then who's the Obito?
I know that's the thing I think I've always kind of
I love that, by
I
the
lean
way.
a
I've
little
never
more-
realized that. That's great. That's genuinely really good.
like the one that I've always leaned a little towards is Hishaku, because he was the first one we saw. The first Hishaku we ever saw was Hishaku. And like he also has the most appearances of any Hishaku member. So I've always felt like, and it's also the fact he's had the most appearances and we don't know his name.
Yeah.
Like it feels like there's got to be a reason there. It's this he feels way more important than he's giving off.
Oh, I think so for sure, yeah. I low-key think
Oh yeah, and I also wanted to say Toto, I have like an insane theory that Toto is a reference to Hidan. With being where I think Toto, although is a weak fighter, has a sorcery that makes her stupidly hard to kill. Mainly because her little introduction is par for par Hidan's introduction. And the reference and that little scene in the banquet when she gets her head cut off, there's a very interesting dialogue that Kuguri has when he saw it. He says that Hirohiko had just been killed, but he doesn't note the fact that his literal like partner, his duo, got killed as well. He only notes the fact that Hirohiko had been beheaded. So that's always sat in my mind that I assumed that I think like Toto's sorcery literally makes her immortal. Also due to the fact that like in the car crash she's bleeding, and then the next time we see her she's healed those wounds.
she also said I died or I'm dead or something.
Yeah, she also has a connection to blood, much like Hidan's summoning circle.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've always like that one sat in my mind is like I think Toto is always going to be like a weak fighter, but she's just going to be really annoying to kill.
This is crazy. We're solving Kagurabachi by reading Naruto.
Yeah,
just a completely different fucking series.
Interesting.
Who's the Zetsu? That's
the Black Zetsu. I mean, like so far, if Hatshaku isn't the if he isn't the Obito, he's the Zetsu, because he literally does Zetsu's job of teleporting around everywhere and giving people information.
Yeah, he's doing the Zetsu role. He is for sure.
And then the samurai, we don't know enough. We don't know about the Radiant samurai.
Take into account that Hishaku only has 7 members, so there's gonna be a lack of overlap.
Yeah, it won't be a 1-to-1.
Right.
Wait, the Hishaku has 10 members though.
Oh yeah, it does have 10.
Oh.
And the Akatsuki has 10 members.
Oh yeah, why did I think 7?
Well, initially it was 12, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, we've only seen 8 of them so far. We haven't seen 2 of them yet.
Oh yeah, you're right, dude. I don't know why I have 7 in my head, bro. You're right.
Yeah.
Right, but
I mean, I guess there's technically 11 members because there's also that traitor inside of the Kaminabi that we just don't know exactly who it is yet.
There might not be a traitor, I can't lie, considering the amount of them.
You think he's just bullshitting?
I think
Hero really seems like
the trees, bro. The trees are everywhere, including Kaminabi, bro. The trees are everywhere. The trees are the traitor, bro. There's no traitor. We've already had the Samura fucking plot twist. I'm now just of the mind that we're being the only way, because Hokazono's got himself in a situation where he's dropped an insane plot twist about Samura, right, supposedly being a traitor after we thought he was legit. And he's now setting up, like, another one. And it seems like a very simple, oh, there's a traitor, you're going to have to find out who it is, and then at one point we're going to reveal it. And it's like, cool, it's a nice little twist, but we know it's coming, it'll be someone, and we're going to go, oh my god, I never expected that. I reckon there's just no fucking traitor. I think it's just trees. I think they've just fully infiltrated the place and get all their information like that. I would not be surprised if there isn't one. Oh no, wait, that can't work though, because they got the personal information. How would they get that from the trees? Oh, it's so weird.
So many loose ends.
I'm very curious about the female Hishaku member though. I think she's gonna be very important.
Using my Akatsuki thing, because I've been kind of using that, like when I was doing that, I had just that was right before the Kuguri introduction, where I was starting to notice that, like I noticed Derek, I noticed the Conan reference, I noticed the Renegon. So I'm like, imagine we get a Kisame, and the next character I get introduced to is a mad swordsman, and I'm like, okay, this is starting to get a little too like noticeable now.
Oh, that's great.
So like, if we're going off of that actual like diagram thing, and like it ends up working, that means we're gonna get a Datara, someone who's obsessed with explosions. Yeah. And then wait, let me check what other members there are that we haven't met yet. They rotate members like a lot. Oh yeah, we're gonna get a Kakuzu, like a corpse man.
Mm-hmm. I'm
So
thinking
those
about
are
like
those would be.
the samurai dudes.
Yeah, who would he be?
It's an odd one. I'm trying to think about like he's fighting Azami.
Hmm.
Oh, I don't because I feel like there's a hierarchy. I think the three sent to kill Kunishige are up there, you know? I think they're like the big three of the Hishaku, kind of.
Yeah. I think Yura, although is the leader, I don't think he's the strongest. I've kind of been like that's kind of been my um like assumption for a bit now. I originally thought ever since he like started upscaling other people and like explaining how their powers worked, it kind of like sat in my mind like I don't think he's as strong as some of his other members, but I think he like he's still the smartest though. Like he knows like everything that's going on. He's gonna pull like some eyes and shit later where he's like, "Oh yeah, all this? I planned all this out by the way."
Yeah. Oh
Every
yeah,
single
yeah, yeah,
moment
for
in the
sure.
story. I saw this coming.
I have an interesting idea for because I'm still sus of Azami. Uh, do we think the traitor do we think Azami could be a Hishaku if he is a traitor? Because I feel like
It's got to be like some sort of like Winter Soldier sleeper agent stuff if it's a
bro,
zombie because he
he could be
he
the
now that
Itachi,
we've seen
bro.
more of him.
He could be the Itachi. Like
True.
it's
I
there's
guess that
a
could be
I
true.
don't see Azami being a traitor for anything more than a very complex personal reason.
Yeah. But also it's the fact that he's mad as hell at the samurai he's fighting right now. I feel like that was kind of my little like if it's gonna be Azami, I don't think it could be anymore now that he's showing actual emotion towards the killers
See,
of his friends.
I thought that too, but then we discussed it, and we realized like there could be so many reasons why he's pissed at Samurai Dude, being that he could have not
Maybe it
at
wasn't
all been aware of
according
the
to
fact that they were
plan.
going to kill him. Yeah, like he could
True.
have been manipulated, and he had no idea that they were going to kill Kunishige. I think if they just flat out betrayed him, and or like they're holding something over his head or something like that. Like, genuinely, I think his rage towards the samurai guy is real. I think there's so many scenarios where he could absolutely still be the informant.
I think I could see that, yeah. I can kind of see that.
I don't know, man. Hokuson is just so hard to read sometimes.
That's one of the best parts
It's
about him.
Yeah.
Because like going into this arc, or like not going into, but like going into the second half of this arc, dude, I could have sworn Samura was about to die, bro. I thought he was gonna die protecting his daughter, and that she was gonna pick up his blade. But no, bro, it went like a completely different
Yeah, he's
route.
not gonna die. It's the whole point
And
now.
no other
yeah,
new gen has me thinking like this right now.
Bro, I
Like
I'm
know.
this is why
saying,
like I think
bro.
Kagurabachi is my current favorite new gen because this is like it's got like that JJK mindset
No,
where
it
you're
really
constantly like,
does. Yeah. Every week you're
oh, I don't know
thinking
what's
about it constantly, bro.
going
This is honestly like I don't know, are you caught up on One Piece? Because I have been reading One Piece like
I'm
a
caught up on One Piece,
motherfucker
yeah.
at the moment, bro. One Piece
Yeah.
is like that's a theory gold mine, but it's
Yeah.
so like vast and complex that crafting a theory for it is not only incredibly difficult, but it's also not something you sit and think about constantly because your brain just can't handle that much shit. Like there's so much
Yeah.
information, but something like JJK and Kagurabachi, it's a lot easier to follow, right? And it's the kind of thing that you read it and you're like, there are X amount of possibilities that I see, and you can explore all of them without getting lost and then be excited about all of them. One Piece is like, okay, it's great, but it's the kind of thing that I prefer to just sit down and let it play out rather than think about it too much because it's too difficult to really get a good theory out of One Piece. But like, I love the
Yeah,
way
there's
that
like
this
so
just
many
gets the
ongoing
cogs
plots in
turning.
One Piece.
Yeah, because this is like, I really do feel the same way when I first started making JJK content because I was like, my main focus of the channel was theories. For like 90% of my content back in 2024 was just theory, 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 theory. And when it ended, I was like, I was, reading One Piece, wanting to do the same thing. And I was just like, it doesn't.
One Piece
I
is
can't.
amazing,
It
but
doesn't
it's just
work.
gone on for so many years that it's just like you don't know. The thing about One Piece is you never know what mystery is gonna get revealed next. Like you never know
Yeah.
what answer you're gonna get. Like
Yeah.
like all the mysteries do get answers, but you never know what order. Like the Vegapunk stuff, I was not expecting that to be
Yeah,
next
like
when that happened.
exactly. There's some stuff you just can't predict, but
Yeah.
Kagurabachi really does have that same exact kind of magic that JJK did.
Mm.
Like I imagine like in the final, like once we get to like endgame Kagurabachi, like after we've got a season or two of the anime, and we start getting to like the Gojo versus Sukuna type, when you really get
Yeah.
into the pinnacle, like when you get into that peak, kind of leading up to the finale sort of stuff, when the theories like really start getting pumped out because you have so much more context and information. Like if we're thinking this hard now, just every time we get given more information and more context, it only becomes like better and better, right? So the potential for this that's why it's the kind of thing that will have people thinking week by week. When the anime drops, it will become hugely popular. People will start reading week by week more and more because it's doing such a good job, just like Gege did, of getting people thinking about it every time a chapter comes out. That's why it's going to be so fucking huge, because it really is like capturing that magic again.
Bro, they
It's
said
so
Shonen
good.
Jump fell off, bro. Kagurabachi, bro. Carrying
bro.
right now, dude.
Like you've got enjoyable
Yeah.
stuff. Like Sakamoto Days is enjoyable. It's good, but
Yeah,
this
Ichi
is
the
different.
Witch, I've been reading that. That's pretty fire. But it just there's something just about how like Hokuzono writes mysteries that it's just like it gets you thinking. Like Ichi the Witch, you read a chapter, you're hyped for the next one, but like midweek you're not really thinking about it. Kagurabachi, you could be doing like
On
random
your
shit,
mind,
and then in your mind you'll be like,
always.
hold on a minute.
Yeah, bro. It's really like it has, and this is what I'm saying. I think Hokuzono is a nerd. I think he consumes this shit the same way we do, and he's looked at the stuff he loves, and he's
trips me
gone,
out
"This
that,
is how
he's
I'm gonna
our
make it."
age. I keep on forgetting that.
That's what
like,
I'm saying.
That's so weird to me. That like
He's like, to become a mangaka, you have to like manga, right? Like surely you don't become a mangaka and have never read a manga. Like there's so much Naruto inspiration in here. There is like Bleach influence, obviously. I even see JJK influence. I know everyone loves to deny it, but like there are sprinkles of that shit, right?
Agreed.
He's
one of the
yeah, go on.
I think the pacing is very
hotel,
JJK
it literally
coded.
has a like you know those veils they put over shit when they're doing like big fights.
Yeah,
like that, the
true.
hotel literally has like one of those over it. It was
Yeah,
like that was like one of the first times I was
Very
like, oh, yeah, that's
JJK
cool.
coded. Yep.
I think like the thing is about Hokuzono, the reason he's doing so well is because I think he is a consumer, just like the rest of us. And the criticisms that we have of previous series, I imagine he has the same. And I imagine he can, because being younger, you have to consider the fact that like he will most likely like be on social media. Like he'll sit and probably like scroll through fucking, I don't know, something. Like
It always
you know what I mean?
like you guys read Gachi Akuta?
I haven't read it, but I know of it. Yeah.
I haven't read it either.
Yeah. Like the mangaka for that, she's like on Twitter a lot. Like when there's drama around the series, she's like, which is a good thing, but at the same time, I think it's kind of like a bad thing because communities can get weird at times, and it's like when a mangaka actually knows about that, it's so awkward. It's like
wasn't the Kagurabachi community under fire because they kept like posting?
Yeah.
Oh,
He did a sketch of a swordsman character, and it looked like in the Kagurabachi's community's defense, the character really did look like it was hitting the Ari Purity White style.
Okay.
But it wasn't. And the thing about the offer for Gachi Akuta is like her whole time as a mangaka, she's been diminished, and people have always been like, "Oh, your style kind of just looks like this," or "Hey, that looks just like this." So when people compare her work, it's a real like punch in the gut to her, because it's basically saying like, "Oh, you don't have a style. You just look like this person."
Right. Okay, I see.
Yeah, like it was kind of like they like the Kagurabachi community obviously didn't know about that, but like you got to be more sensitive to people. It's like especially like people who like artists, because you can really insult artists by diminishing their work like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think like it will definitely get to you, but there's also an element of be on social media if you can handle it.
Yeah.
If it starts affecting your work or how you view your work, you have to be able to remove yourself from that, because that is realistically how it works. People are going to have opinions about your work. You should do what's healthiest for you. So I reckon I'm gonna have faith in most, like, if you know, being younger, like Hokuzono, if I reckon he is very much, even if he's not like public about it, being of like our generation, will behave the same way that we do, and I think he'll consume a lot of the stuff that gets posted and the general opinions around it. I think that makes it a lot more interesting though, because I think he's very much in tune with what the consumers and readers of this stuff considers good, like what they like, and I think he's very good. It's the same as like playing the YouTube game. After a while of observing and seeing everyone that's already worked on it and stuff, you gain an understanding of how it best performs. Like you said, Shiny, pacing. It is paced very similarly to Jujutsu Kaisen, which, look at Jujutsu Kaisen. If you're going to be a mangaka, you're going to get sat down these days and go, right, this is what's been successful in recent years. Make sure that you pay attention to it. This is how you be a successful mangaka. Have your own style, tell the story you want to tell, which will be inspired by a lot of the things he loves, but at the same time, it's like, if he knows he wants to keep people's attention and be successful as a mangaka, if he wants people to see his story, he knows. He knows the way to go about it, which is why it's managing to captivate us the same way Jujutsu Kaisen did, is because that is now, like, the standard. Because he's seen that and he's gone, well, that I loved it, other people loved it, I can write my story like that in my own way. He's doing such a good job at taking the things that work and making it his own. It's not a copy. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's done a great job. But that's why I'm so hopeful that a lot of I think it will have a good ending, because it's a curse, right? It's a shonen curse, bad endings. But I think he's in tune enough with that. I think he knows that a lot of people think shonens have bad endings, and I think he will put a lot of thought and love into it, because I think he is just, at the end of the day, a consumer. I think he is a big nerd like the rest of us, and he knows what he would want to see, which is really, really good. I think that's a very positive thing, because he's done such a good job of like taking it and making it his own so far. It's great. Oh, that was terrible. But
Also, like, listen, one thing I really appreciate about Kagurabachi is like how it like takes classic tropes and kind of flips them on their head is really good. Like the retrieval arc. That's a very classic one, right? You got Soul Society, you got Sasuke retrieval arc, and I thought for a while that like the Sword Bear assassination arc, oh, that's gonna be our retrieval arc. It is not that. It is, and then we got the like. At first we had Samura. I'm like, okay, and then he betrays us, and then we have Iori, and I'm like, okay, I guess Iori's gonna be like our retrieval thing, and then I was wrong about that too. And I've like the whole time I've never been mad about that, because I'm like, that is such a cool way to twist that.
Yeah, honestly, I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think the reason why Kagurabachi for me is like probably my favorite at the moment is because it feels in my top 3 I have Attack on Titan and Jujutsu Kaisen. And what I feel like I'm seeing here is everything I love about the way Jujutsu Kaisen was laid out in terms of like power system, like pacing, that kind of stuff, with a story similarly built to Attack on Titan. There's a lot of similarities. He is a big Attack on Titan fan, but there's the way that the story is going and his skill at writing is very similar to that of Isayama, which is a huge compliment, because Isayama's a genius. And again, I'm not trying to compare him to other people going, he's doing a very good job at making it his own, but what I feel like I'm consuming is a story that I love laid out in a way of another story that I love, and he smashed these two things together, and it's like, for me, that's huge, because I love both those things, like that method of storytelling as well as the typical shonen, power system sort of thing. It's amazing. That's just that is just why it's my favorite at the moment. It's so good.
Like how it's like Attack on Titan. It obviously like, it takes inspiration from a lot of real stuff that's happening, like actual wars.
Thank you, bro.
And
$5.
And like Kagurabachi's kind of doing that as well.
British, yes.
And like I feel like at the end, when we get to know more about the Sword Saint, my idea for the Sword Saint has always been that like originally he was a very like patriotic soldier, and like how the Shinichi kind of seems to it kind of seems to like boosts a person's negative qualities. So my guess has always been like the longer the Sword Saint wielded the Shinichi, the more his like patriotism turned like bitter. Like his mindset went from like I need to protect my country to like as long as these people are alive, my country will never be safe.
Yeah, I think we spoke about a bit about that last week, and I agree. I think he was
Yeah,
he was
but
once a
like I've
good
always
dude.
had that theory that I always
Yeah.
think that like Shiba is sugarcoating shit when he tells us stuff. Always think he's sugarcoating stuff because he's got that bias, like right. He's got that like I was Kunoshigi's like I grew up with Kunoshigi. We're best friends. I'm always going to be leaning towards his side, but I think genuinely this is a lot more Kunoshigi's fault than we think.
Oh yeah, I think Kinoshige is a lot to blame, but also I think one of the things that I really hope gets explored with Shiba, which I shouldn't be ignored because it should be a thing, is based on, you know how like uh, Chihiro wasn't even known by most people, like he was hidden away. Shiba is one of the
Yeah.
very few people who was with Chihiro growing up, like for a lot of time. I think Shiba very much sees Chihiro as a child in a way still. I think he sees him as a lot
Yeah.
more innocent and young than he actually is, which is why he's like Shiba seemed he was so hurt. Like Shiba's normally got so much energy, but you can see it the way he speaks about it. Like when he pulled up to save Chihiro from Samura, and the aftermath of that when they were talking, like Shiba was so hurt that he couldn't protect him because that was a moment where he kind of realized, like he said it in the chapter, it was like realized that he can't protect him anymore. Like he's grown up, and this is on him now. Shiba still feels very much responsible for kid Chihiro. I think is a really interesting theme which has been very lightly touched on that I really do hope gets explored more because there's potential there for some really good writing.
I feel like we'll learn that like the longer Shiba raised Chihiro and the more he helped him with that path of vengeance, the more he started to see Chihiro as like maybe not his own kid, but like maybe like more like a nephew, and he was more and more like I don't really want him to go down this path anymore. I
Yeah,
care for him too much.
he even said like he should have done more. Like he's looking back now and should have discouraged Chihiro from going down this path at all. Is exactly what he feels like he should have done, which is interesting because it's clear that Kunoshige's intention was for Chihiro to go down this path and destroy the blades.
I feel like that's the kind of I don't like Kunoshige is like such an interesting character because the more we learn about him, it's the like
The worse he gets.
he's a good man, but like he's just there's so much like
Made
he did
so
many
many
things.
mistakes, bro. So many mistakes.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I believe he will always be a good man in the story, but there'll just be
I'm
certain
gonna-
things that we'll look at, and we could have been like, you could have been smarter there.
I gotta interject right there. One of you said that it was Kunoshige's intention to have Chihiro take up the blade, which isn't necessarily wrong, but I feel like he was more so gonna do it himself. That's the vibe I got from last
Ooh,
chapter.
interesting. But isn't I don't know.
Because
The vibe I got.
he says that Chihiro like cleared his vision, or like his thoughts were very clouded, and because of Chihiro, he kind of was able to get back on the right path.
I think the fact he
And-
made the blade with Chihiro kind of signals to me that it was like him passing on.
Maybe
I think he wanted to do it himself, but at the end of the day, he ended up dragging his own kid into his problems,
Exactly.
and that's like the issue that we're gonna get. Where it's
Yeah.
like originally this was like him like I'm gonna make this sword this sword, and I'm gonna be able to like finally end this myself. But like
and then he got
it's
killed.
still gonna be like
and he
yeah,
had to
it's
do
still
it.
gonna be like you still brought your kid into this. This is still on you.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
Because he doesn't actually give him the sword until he's on his deathbed.
I don't think he ever gives him the
No, he
sword.
just-
Like
yeah,
I
he
think
just
he really
takes
took the
it.
sword himself. Or maybe
Oh,
it could
yeah,
have been
that-
like a selfish thing he did in his last moments when he like actually no. Chihiro says when he woke up his father was already dead.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then that gives even more credence to my idea that he never intended for Chihiro to take up the sword. I think he was just Chihiro was like his path forward.
That could be the case.
But-
Yeah.
Yeah, it just happened that the Hishaku appeared, but he wasn't intending on Hishaku appearing and killing him.
Just before, because I'm gonna wrap up the stream, I need to go do some stuff. But the last kind of thing I wanted to talk about was a very vague thing that's kind of been given. There's obviously Yura and his prophecy, which he keeps giving people. Again, we've seen no proof of this prophecy, like where this has even come from. But the other thing that's kind of like that for me, which I've been curious about, is in the context we're given of the Seiti War, it's opened with the people of the island started an invasion on Japan, right? So then, as in they initiated the conflict. But I'm very curious about whether it was as simple as that. Like, what they cultivated power over the years, like wielding Datenseki, and then were like, "Fuck it, we're gonna just take over Japan one day." I imagine there was a spark that incited conflict, which has been deliberately left out of the conversation so far. Do you think there's anything more to like why they actually initially started an invasion or conflict began in the first place? Or do you really think it was just a spontaneous, we're going to invade?
Absolutely think that there's more to it. I mean,
I think we're gonna get into Uchiha Leaf Village kind of situation. Years of tension that hasn't been revealed to us. I think it's gonna be like yeah. Oh, the question: who's gonna be the Donzo? I think like I feel someone in. I've always been kind of suspicious of that dude with the beard, who's the Kaminabi head. Something about that guy has always seemed off to me. Because the way he speaks, he speaks very proud. He speaks like he knows the way that justice should be, yet he still diverges from it nonetheless. Like he's the one who talks Hiyuki down in the Rakuzaichi arc about how they're going to be buying the blade from the auction. Where he's like, it's a necessary thing we have to do, and it's like, should a Kaminabi, like someone who like who represents the nation, should they really be like talking like this?
Yeah,
I see. Okay, here's my take. I mean, you think it's gonna go the Naruto route, where it's like the Uchiha clan, where they're building up tension. I think it's gonna go a completely different route. I think it's like more so Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, you think Kunishige is the reason for it?
I see it. I see both.
Not necessarily, but let's say that Chihiro's mom was from there, or Kunishige, either one of Chihiro's parents. Let's say that the people of the island were trying to be secluded, like the Amazons or Atlantis in DC.
Right.
And these two people now have a forbidden love, and the people of the island don't allow that, and they're gonna wage war over it.
I feel like that's too small of a... Unless they're like very, very important people, then I don't see that being enough of a reason.
Because let's say Yura, this is all theory crafting, of course, but let's say Yura is royalty, which I think he is. And let's say Chihiro's mom is family to Yura, then that automatically makes it the country's problem, because now the royalty is deserting the island, who is trying to stay secluded.
I agree that Yura is probably royalty.
My theory has always been that
I'm thinking
Yura was oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna finish up by saying, how the heck did Japan get their hands on Datenseki? Because it's a resource that's from the island. So they needed to get it to make the blades. They couldn't reach the island until the blades were made.
There's a lot of vibranium from Wakanda.
Yeah.
So somebody from the island out, bro.
Somebody had to give it to Japan. Yeah. There's no other way.
I think now that you mentioned the Uchiha route, based on the fact that they are the only characters with the same eyes, I would not be surprised if... Okay, I don't think anyone's going to agree with me here, but fuck it. If the Swordmaster is the Itachi and Yura is the Sasuke.
That could be interesting. But honestly, the thing about me for Yura is I feel like we're meant to think that he's this very, like, oh, he must have had this past as a very pristine individual and very large importance. I think it's going to be revealed that Yura was just like a regular citizen of the island who got really lucky and survived. And he hates himself for that. He feels very bitter about it because he's like, I got lucky. Everyone else I knew died. I was the one who got lucky.
I would agree if it wasn't for the very weird, random royal family detail. I think it is
like,
such
how does he know about the treaty being signed?
Yeah, like it's such a giveaway. It's such it was such a like unnecessary detail to throw in there, but based on like just even the way like Yura's design is just very like it's all his like piercings and markings and his eyes and stuff are very different. They just stand out so much, just like the Swordmaster, like the markings that manifest when he uses his blade. like what his eyes look like, the only eyes that perfectly match Yura's. Like, I think there is a history there, and I am at this point willing to put money on that both Yura and the Swordmaster are probably from the island, very like important high-ranking people, either like within the royal family or something like that. And I think it's I don't know what Yura's motive is exactly. It could be, you know, revenge. It could be, if we're going down that Naruto route, I reckon it's a red herring. I don't think bro just wants revenge. I think it's probably a lot more complex than that.
I think it's survivor's guilt. Maybe like if he is a royal, I think he's got like extreme survivor's guilt probably for being the only royal who survived that. Because imagine like every other member of his family is dead, every other person he was related to, his entire like people are dead. So there must be a lot of survivor's guilt for being the only one who was either spared or maybe he even like hid. You know, like he was like cowardly and he hid from everything.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, we just need more, realistically. Ah.
Dude, one final thing. I knew you wanted to wrap up, but
No, that's fine.
on the final page of today's chapter, I kind of realized that I missed a detail. So before they clash, Chihiro picks up his sword while saying Aka Suzaku, right? But he never actually ends up using it.
Oh yeah, true.
So what happened to that Suzaku? Do you think it's still stored? Do you think he used the flames to attack?
Oh no, when he clashes with the blade and cuts into it, that's you can see the flames coming out of the blade. That's when he uses Suzaku. Yeah. You can see it. When he takes the blade out of the sheath and you see his bleeding hands, there's flames coming out of the sword.
No, that's EI White Purity.
No, he's in the stance, but there's literal flames coming out of like the sheath.
But that's what happens when you use EI White Purity. That's the explosive spirit energy. He does that effect every time like we get a close up of EI White Purity. It's the explosive spirit energy. Because that's not how he draws the flames. That's I'm pretty sure that is like an EI White Purity explosion.
Because I was thinking, let's say that he was using Suzaku to heal, but not himself. What if he just wanted to like chip the blade to show Samura that he could do it and then heal the blade? Or am I crazy?
Oh, that could be interesting, yeah.
Potentially.
Because I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
I feel like he still wants to convince Samura to join his side. Because he's not an evil person inherently.
Oh, but then if he has Suzaku again, we need Arca is the. I'm saying it again. Arca and the extent of Arca's abilities are going to be like what determines everything here. How many can he store at once? Is it limited use? Like, what's the restrictions? Because based on like how it all works, Arca has so much potential. We just need the details. And I think the problem is that the reason we don't know them is because I don't think Chihiro knows them. It's about him exploring and figuring it out. I mean, again, infinite potential. In theory, Arca can do whatever. True realm and that, you know? So there's no point going, oh, this is the current limitation of Arca, because like Samura's he's not supposed to be able to like bring people back to life, and not really meant to be able to heal inanimate objects, and yet here he is doing both of those things. So it's just I don't even know. People really thought the series was ending soon.
No.
Yeah, that fucking gets to me. Like, we still don't know two members of. We know like 4 members of the Hishaku's names. We haven't seen 2 of their full members. We haven't seen 2 of the sword wielders and have their ability. We don't even know like the Kamayuri's 3rd ability. That blade still isn't fully shown yet.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even know what Misa looks like.
Yeah, I was gonna say as well for like them, we haven't seen a flashback with them yet, so we got no clue who they are. We don't know who Chihiro's mom is. There's that other piece of Cloud Gouger still lying around that Hokuzono literally said was gonna be important. And I mean,
he also said that Chihiro's mom would make an appearance in the story.
Yep.
Yeah, the thing about that is like I believe him, but I'm also kind of worried that it's gonna be like some My Hero shit where the author was like, "Oh, Deku's dad will play an important role," and then he just never shows up.
Please don't say that.
doubt it. I doubt it. Just because of how far
I doubt
ahead
it.
Hokuzono has been looking. Like, this guy is writing 50 chapters in the future, bro. Like,
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Hokuzono is living in chapter
mistakes.
150. Exactly. Like, he's literally living 100 chapters ahead of us.
Every single mangaka mistake that you can think of, Hokuzono has learned from
That's
it.
what I've been saying.
In some form or fashion.
The fact that he's a consumer
glaze.
makes him amazing at this. No, full glaze.
Full glaze on it.
Right, like...
Dude, if the anime comes out and it's not like, I'm gonna like cry if this shit is like 7 Deadly Frames. Sakamoto Days anime. If it's in cores, I won't watch it until it's all out because I'm gonna lose my mind. I hate when animes do stuff in cores unless it's something like 1000-Year Blood War, because that makes sense.
I'm gonna.
But other stuff, it pisses me off so much.
Bro, listen. I am milking that shit for content. I'm watching it the second it releases.
You're getting a review every single video, man.
I'm doing it. Wait till JJK Season 3. Every episode, weekly, you're getting 3 videos. Reaction, initial discussion, deep dive review. Alright? All of it. I'm milking that shit.
Oh, I forgot I fucking, I didn't think I was gonna hit like 1K like halfway into my year of being on YouTube. And like I hit that shit like way before then.
Oh, you killed it, yeah.
I have like a bet I made where I'm like, you know, low key, if I do hit 1K before that, I'll hit up that Kaizen cosplay as like a thank you, because I hate that character so fucking much, and it's very like iconic on my channel because my second video ever was just like a fucking of like my reaction right after I had read chapter 16 of like me being pissed off at Kaizen fucking like getting everyone killed.
Oh, I love that's how I found out about your channel, bro. Remember? Enten sent me
the Daruma versus Kazane video.
Yeah, he sent me the Daruma versus Kazane video, and I was like, obviously, I'm Team Kazane all the way, so
yeah,
it was a fun time.
Dude, the fact that Ikoto appeared before that, man, I was like, in my reaction to that chapter, I was fucking losing it so hard. I was laughing my ass off. Because like, did they genuinely fire him? Like, genuinely, they fucking fired his ass, because like you got your like legless former boss showing up before you.
No, I think he's like, I reckon he's just still cooked.
Yeah, I mean, but he only lost an arm, and Ikoto lost both legs, and Ikoto's back in the story.
Yeah, but Ikuto's probably, I don't know, we're gonna get some like kind of using his magnetic ability, he's controlling like his new fucking Iron Man legs or some shit.
Yeah, we'll get some Darth Maul shit with the legs.
But Ikuto was a honestly, the whole squad, especially what's her name?
Shiyumi?
Shiyumi? Yeah, Earthbending girl. She was so cool. I love Earthbending abilities. She's dead.
Oh my dude, I really my guess is, because you know Hokuzono, like he loves Sojo. So my guess is when we fade back to the Curry, we're gonna get like a chapter focus on Ikoto. And what we're gonna learn from that is we're gonna see a flashback, and it's gonna show us exactly how Sojo killed everyone. Because right, like we don't see how he killed, like how he cut off like Ikoto's legs, and how he killed that one dude with like the mask, and how Kazane ended up surviving. So my guess is we're gonna get a little flashback to get to see Sojo again, and it's gonna be just him just like just straight up just farming through their squad.
We'll definitely get more Sojo, because I want that panel of him standing in the field of flowers explained.
Every time.
I want to know why.
Yeah, and there's also that one message he did on Twitter when he drew that colored Sojo face thing. It was just really cool. He wrote out like, I want to draw this guy more. So my guess is like, okay, he's gonna be back eventually.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's alive. Can't lie.
And no, he ain't alive. It's like confirmed dead body. He got turned to like mush.
Is he confirmed dead body?
Oh yeah. They in the little room they have with the heads, they read off in the what is it? It's like in the destruction of Genchi Sojo's headquarters, his dead body was confirmed to be found.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, he's gone.
Thank God.
Hell. Uraha though.
I wonder how. I really want to go back to Akuri. Like, if I'm being honest, I wanted a little more time with Akuri's little arc, because I love that arc so far. I've always loved the Kaminabi, so seeing more of them is making me happy.
I want Azami, man. I was so gassed for that chapter, and he did. Oh, please, Hokuzono. I want that Azami fight.
I'm curious why the samurai doesn't have a sword. That's kind of bugged me for a little bit now.
Oh, I just need to know. I need to
Yeah.
know who has what sorcery. What does Azami do? What does Shiba do? Please, Hokazono.
Oh, I remembered something I wrote down a while back when I was reviewing the design for the samurai because it's very noticeable that the samurai doesn't wear a chest plate, and it's kind
Yeah.
of like a really weird thing, right? The reason I noticed for that of why the samurai doesn't wear a chest plate is it could be a reference to how when women were allowed to finally be samurai in Japan, they didn't have a format to make chest plates for them, and they basically had to wear these shitty makeshift bamboo ones. They didn't actually get the solid thing. So I'm like, I
Interesting.
mean, that could be a reference to that. I think it'd be pretty cool if we get a reveal that like the samurai is actually like a woman. That could be a pretty cool twist.
With
That surprised me a
fucking
bit.
Eggman's mustache, yeah?
Yeah, that's the mask, man. That's not an actual mustache.
What?
You didn't know that, dude? That's the
What?
mask.
Shut up,
Samurai
bro. What?
masks have facial hair on them.
Oh,
Are you
no,
serious?
No, samurai masks have facial hair on them, bro. Like, what?
You didn't know that shit, right?
No,
Are
I
you being
didn't know
genuine?
that. I can't tell if you're even being serious or not.
I am being so. It's
I'm going to
really
this chapter.
obvious.
I'm
How did
going
you
to
not
this chapter, bro.
Okay, hold on. Let me like get
No,
an
man.
actual samurai
He's
mask
just
for you
got a
too.
fucking bomber clot mustache, bro.
Look more closely at it. You look more closely at it, and you see that the mustache isn't attached to the face. Cause okay, look in chat, dude. Wait for it. Look
Attached to
at
the
the mask in
face. What are
chat.
you talking about? What the Sigma?
It's samurai. That you didn't know that. Are you? I can't believe you didn't know that, man. You're in. You analyze chapters and you didn't know that. I can't believe you did. You actually thought the mustache was on the face.
What the hell, bro? I loved the mustache. I thought he was so cool.
Nah, man. That's part of the
Wait,
mask.
if that's the case, then
Mhm.
wait. Oh, but it is. Is this him then? Even. What if it's just? What if this is just
No,
like
that's
a cursed tool, and this is just someone else wearing the armor?
handprint. Got the tattoo.
Yeah, but what if it's like? What if it's just another Hishaku? What if it? Because we see a suit of armor, right, in Hishaku headquarters or wherever they were. There's a suit
There's
of
no
armor.
one in that armor. I analyzed that, by the way.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
but I'm saying, what if it
it's
is? What if it is the armor or an armor that they just put on? Do you know what I mean? Like it could not be the same guy. The fact Azami says it is means it probably is, but like, dude.
yeah, I can't believe you thought that was the face. That's fucking me up. It's so obviously a mask, man. Like the
No,
eyes.
why would
dude.
I know that by looking at it, bro? I thought he was just like.
Because it's really look, oh, dude. There's literal dents where the mask is. How did you not notice that?
Like I thought he just. I can see the little like side. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. Like, but
Yeah, you notice it. You
I
can see
thought-
it now, though, right?
I thought
Notice how it's a
Okazono
mask.
was just giving him that fucking blacked out anime eyes cliche thing because he's pissed off or something,
Nah.
bro. Is that whole thing is just a mask?
That whole
Right.
thing is a mask. That isn't their
Oh.
actual face. Yeah.
That's like. Oh, I thought the mustache was so cool. No, it's not even real.
I can't believe you didn't know that. That's so funny to me.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
samurai masks a lot of time have facial hair on them.
that's
It's,
less cool
it's
now.
like yeah.
I hope Azami
Yeah, so that's
fucking
why
kills
I'm
him.
like kind of theorizing a lot about where I think we're gonna get psyched out, where it's gonna be actually be a woman in the suit. And we're gonna get maybe like some sort of themes around that.
Yeah.
Because it's like there's no reason we wouldn't see the face if there wasn't something to hide.
I mean, I guess, yeah. He could just be like really
Yeah.
fucked up.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
Azami's brother.
What if he's like Jason Voorhees? Don't say it. It's Azami's twin brother.
Shanks.
Right, if I see one more person tell me that
Plant.
like the mask is gonna get removed and it's gonna be Sojo, I'm gonna lose my shit.
No, it's not Sojo, bro. It's obviously Toto.
Yeah,
Toto
definitely.
go insane. It kills me that Toto is a better teleporter than Shiba, because Toto actually saves the people she's supposed to save.
Yeah, Shiba is on screen. Not Shiba. Toto is on screen. That's why. Shiba's not allowed to. He's literally get divine intervention from the writer. Shiba's not allowed to do anything on screen.
Koto has saved Hirohiko twice. Shiba has failed to save. Shiba literally failed to save Chihiro. He
I
literally
want to
died
know,
for.
bro. What Shiba is like moving like Hikari, bro? What beef did he have with the Kamanabi that he's genuinely like thinking it will fuck shit up? Shiba's mindset, obviously he's chill with Yoda, right? But like he was genuinely, I'm not gonna show my face because I think everything goes to shit if I turn up. Because what did he do to the Kamanabi? Who did he beat up?
Oh, you know it has something to do with that one guy who wanted to kill Chihiro.
I
You
think
know
so
it has
too.
something to do with.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that, bro, they are so similar, right? That Donnie is quick to anger. He's got the same like beads that Shiba has. He's got the same like. I reckon they're related.
I said that's the theory. That's what everyone always goes to, right? You actually go. I think they're related.
I think so. Although they have like the same. They're probably like have the same sorcery or some shit as well.
I mean, like, if you really wanted to, like, okay, hold on. Let me get this guy's face. I think his name is, like, Izaru? Yeah, Izaru. That's right. Kagurabachi. Yeah, he is fucking, he looks really similar to the dude who created, Eye of Purity White Style. Like, I don't know if you ever seen, like, their faces compared, but they have the exact same hairline, hair, and face.
Yeah,
like, that's always bugged me. I guarantee it will mean absolutely nothing, and it's just
Probably.
like a similar kind of hairstyle or something. But like, they look stupidly similar.
Now, what do we think? Like, what? So Azami keeps doing this lightning thing, right? The like, you know, when he holds it in his fingers, the little like bolt of whatever it is. But in this Azami chapter, he's like using sheer, like, it's just physicals he's doing because he's just built different, clearly, right? That's fair enough. Why would you use your sorcery against fodder when you just don't need to? That's valid, but like, what does he? What does he do?
Check the faces out. Check those two out.
Yeah.
Hairline too.
I thought the exact same thing, bro. I was like, yep, this guy is Shiba's dad. I mean, there's got to be like, Shiba is the pinnacle. He's stated pinnacle. Are you telling me he's a nobody who just happens to be friends with the guy who made the enchanted blades and is a top level, like, was a top level Kamanabi? Bro, go away. This guy is important. Hokuzono is just edging us. Because Shiba is my go. I love characters that, like, because Hiyuki and Azami are like, they're the top of the Kamanabi, right? But they're kind of still within this box. But the way that Hokuzono be talking about Shiba, it's like, there's no box. He is the pinnacle. Excluding enchanted blades. He is like, among just like sorcerers, right? He's the GOAT. Yeah. He's like, frontline Seiti war sorcerer without a fucking scratch on him.
What does he know? That's the question, right?
He knows everything. And he is, what is he scared? Why is he not, like, why is he not getting more involved? Because he knows, let's be real, he knows he can throw hands with the Hishaku. He knows that if anyone has a, like, he might not be able to he obviously can't take him in a 1v1, but he would be good support helping Chihiro against Samura. So why is he, like, agreeing, oh yeah, I'll just go hang with fucking Sushi Dude or whoever the other one is? Why? What is he so scared of? There's something mentally that is making him hesitate from getting involved, even though he knows full well that literally he is one of their best assets. It's a choice. He's choosing not to get involved. Why, bro? Why? Because, like, genuinely the only times we've seen Yura have doubts is not the Swordmaster, is Samura, because and Shiba, and kind of Hakuri, but like that's more of a he's just gonna be fucking annoying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need something.
It's just so many questions. So many questions.
I don't get it, man.
So I can't get over the fact that we don't know like shit about like most of the Hishaku as well. That's what really gets me. Is like the Hishaku, like they're the big threat. Like, although we got the sword saint going on, we got Samura, we got here, but it's always been like reinforced that like you gotta worry about the Hishaku, and we don't know shit about them still.
Mike, who do you think is going to be the final villain? Do you think it's going to be the Swordmaster or Yura?
I think it's Yura. I don't think it's gonna be
I think
I think it's gonna be the
Swordmaster. I think he's like gonna very. He'll be important at some point, but I reckon he just gets like Kenjaku'd. I think he just gets murdered. I don't think he is the main focus. He was the old generation's like problem. He's like the Rocksteady Zebek. He's I think he's already dead in like he's not physically already dead, but I think his fate is sealed in that he will not be a big part moving forward. He exists
I think
for the sake of
I
history.
think he's going to be an insanely big part.
I don't think so. I think he will be a moving part, and I think he will die pretty, like... Because realistically, this man is still contracted to the Shinichi, but he will never hold the Shinichi again.
Yeah, he's not touching that shit.
So, like, where do we go from here? Do you know what I mean? I think we kill him. That's it.
Yeah.
Shock factor, dead.
I think he's gonna die. Like he's gonna have like a pretty insane death though. Like he's not going out easy. That's for sure.
I think he
It's
might.
like with the amount of build up he has, it's not just gonna be like they walk in a room and Yura's already killed him and he's holding the Shinichi. It's not gonna be something as simple as that. Like he's gonna take quite a few lives.
I see it. Nah, I see it. I'm fully on board with that idea that we walk into a room one day and Yura's beheaded him, right? I see it as a real possibility, and I'd low-key fuck with it.
Gonna get... No, but honestly, here's my mind is I think all the Hishaku, or maybe all the remaining Hishaku, when we get around to that, they're just gonna like jump him. Because like besides people like Hirohiko, Kuguri, and Toto, I think the rest of the people are in this organization because they hate the sword, like the sword saint, or maybe even just the Kaminabi.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's like Hatshaku and Yura, they really strike me as Islanders. I'm very like certain at least one of them is.
I agree.
So I think it's gonna be just like it's gonna be a full jumping, and they're just gonna brutally beat him.
Yeah, I think that the way forward for that is the only way is like if Swordmaster's from the island, the way he will probably become more dangerous than he should be is if he gets his hands on Datanseki weapons. Datanseki weapons are the wild card here, because anybody from the island who turns out to be from the island will be able to wield Enchanted Blade level power. If you give a Datanseki weapon like that to someone who has years of experience wielding Datanseki and an Enchanted Blade, whatever, they'll be able to use it to a stupid level.
Like, my mindset is Spider-Man PS4 Sinister Six jumping Spider-Man scenario. That's what I think is going to happen to him.
I have no idea what that means, but yeah, sure.
You ever played Spider-Man PS4? Like that first game? Alright, so there's basically just a scene where all the Sinister Six beat Spider-Man's ass at the same time.
Oh, I see.
So like I think he's gonna put up a performance. He's gonna be showing us some cool things, but at the end of the day, he's gonna be like mush on the ground. They feel like hatred for this dude.
No, I think the main thing is I reckon those matchups that we're gonna get. I think if he's from the island, we're gonna see. I really hope when Shiba comes to face Hatshaku, which I think is an inevitable matchup, I hope Hatshaku is Datanseki enhanced. Because we gotta remember that the top level, this is the whole point, the pinnacle of sorcery, Azami, Hiyuki, okay, at least Azami and Shiba, who fought in the war, they were fighting against Datanseki wielders. They are not fighting against normal sorcerers. They have experience fighting these enhanced Enchanted Blade reaction level fighters. Not Enchanted Blade, like, wielding level, but like Datanseki level, you know? So I really hope that they, like, their matchups in the future, like their final big matchups, are enhanced by Datanseki in some way, because we do know that they can throw hands and obliterate people who wield that kind of power. It's established. It's not a theory. It's like they fought in the war, therefore we know that they can beat people like that. It just makes the fight way more interesting.
I don't know, dude, because I recall Japan was losing the war, no?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Until the swords came.
Description we get from Kiora, which is really interesting. We learned that the first 5 enchanted blades helped bring it to a stalemate,
Yeah.
and then the
Yeah.
6th won them the war.
Yeah,
So that
but
means before the blades they were losing.
they were losing, but that doesn't mean that they were individually losing. Like, this is a war.
No, I get that.
Well,
I get that.
like,
But
think of it this way:
I'm saying
when you're at a
why does Pine Tree need a stone?
Because I think
Why can't he also be on that level?
I just don't think he is.
well, no, what I think happened is when you have a war, you have multiple fronts. I think they just didn't have enough people to have
Yeah.
like a sword bearer or a pinnacle of sorcery at every single front they had.
Yeah, I think they
No,
had
my
like
question is why can't Pine Tree just be that strong?
because I from the impression I've got of the way they're being hyped up, I just currently think he's very strong. But I know it's crazy glaze, but I think
Because the way
is,
how I'm looking at it, right?
Mhm.
If he was really that weak, right, he would not have been able to easily blackmail people with their families. Because let's say he tries blackmailing Yuki, Yuki's just gonna kill him.
but he hasn't tried to blackmail Hiyuki.
No, I
That's
know,
not
but
true.
let's say.
Also, he has, by the way, besides the malediction, he has the biggest visible destruction feat in the series with his roots, where he destroyed an entire town. Well, like not town district, but like he basically destroyed the entire infrastructure of a small area.
Yeah,
Like that scene when he's trying to break the
strong.
barrier. Yeah, like I mean, maybe Sojo could have had the like the one of the strongest visible feats, but the thing is, like, Chihiro obviously absorbed that lightning strike. And the storehouse is a relatively small space, so that other Maze Strike, that's a pretty good feat, is just not that big in comparison. So, like, I think, my guess is he will contend with Shiba for a bit, and then as a last resort, he's gonna, like, pop the Dotensiki. Like,
Okay,
it's gonna be like,
I see that. Yeah, sure.
he's gonna be on, like, some Tenri timing where he pops it last second and goes wild.
There's also I know I love to bring this up. There's that whole thing of like one chapter, you know, Samura's out here, he gets Tobimune, he's fighting, and Hishaku's there like, I can't even fucking see him. And then later on, you've got Shiba literally like, Samura goes down to grab Chihiro and Enten, and then like, before Samura can even turn his head, Shiba's fucking grabbed him, and he's already on the roof behind him. Like, before Samura can
To
even
be
react.
fair, Ro managed to do that as well with the Kamayuri. But then again, he can't really detect Ro, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, that's I feel like
That's an insane Ro feat. It's always been kind of funny to me, like, how big of a speed feat that is. Like, how the fuck did you do that, man?
I think it does help that like Samura Deadass just cannot fucking tell. But that is the sort of thing where it's like Hishaku I think is very strong, but I get the impression that the way that especially the way Yura was talking about, I'm gonna use Chiba again, I don't think they feel like they can beat a sorcerer like that in a head-on encounter. I feel like it's a...
I think the best way to figure out their power is about how they distributed their members during them killing off and collecting the swords. Because if you do the math, how it worked is when Yura was visiting Samura right when they killed Kunishiki, he said he had 2 other members outside at the time. So that means there was 3 people with Samura. And then we had 3 people killing Kunishiki. Meaning that there was 4 members killing a non-sword wielding former Cloud Gouger wielder.
True. Well, not necessarily. We don't know they were all there, though.
But, like, if we were to, like, highball this wielder,
yeah.
that's what they were going up against. Which has always been kind of curious to me. It's like, they had their strongest members dealing with Kunishigi, so that means they didn't really hold that former Cloud Gouger wielder in high regards.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact that he sent his number 2, and what I am going to assume to be the other 2 strongest Hishaku. So Kunishige's
Well, no,
place.
Azami calls them that.
Oh, okay, yeah. So those 3, I would say, they are the strongest of the Hishaku. Then by Yura, Yura said his thing about it was hard to get past. Like, they were trying to avoid Shiba, right? That was their goal. It was in and out in 10 seconds. Because of that thing of like Shiba got there in 10 seconds, right? So it was like we're sending our 3 strongest, knowing most likely, if they know anything about Kunishige, that Kunishige isn't the fighter here. Kunishige is not going to beat them all up. So there's another reason It's getting past Chiba is the problem. We're sending our 3 strongest, we're going in and out, no confrontation. Now, do I think, with the implication given there, that Hishaku is going to fuck up Shiba in a 1v1 without Datenseki? No. I get you can make the, like, Yuta argument of, like, okay, it was a time constraint, rather than, like, okay, they didn't want a drawn-out fight. Fine, that's a good point, but I think author intention is very important. And the way Hokuzono builds things up, I think it's clear the direction he's taking here.
Yeah. But, like, trying to scale how strong the Hishaku comes, it really comes down to, like, what happened with that former blade wielder. Because, like, if we break this down, okay, so Yura was with Samura, and he had 2 other people with him. I think the best assumption you can go off of is he had Hirohiko with him, because at the time, Hirohiko was 15. I don't really think he was, like, fighting former blade wielders when he was 15.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably had Derek with him as well, because Derek kind of goes where Hirohiko is. Derek's that dude with, like, the Velcro mouth thing.
Is his
Just
name
call him
actually
that because
Derek?
he doesn't have an official name.
Oh,
no,
okay.
no, I just call him that.
Okay, I was like, who the fuck is Derek?
But, like, because that guy's always with Hirohiko. So I'm assuming those 3 were at Samura's place. And then we had the lady, Hachaku, and Samurai killing off Kunishigi.
Yeah.
And then, so that leaves us with the 2 members we haven't seen, Kuguri, and I feel like I'm forgetting someone, because we haven't seen 2 members. So it was, and Toto. Kuguri and Toto, and then 2 other people. That's the high ball you can give a former wielder of a blade, without the blade.
Yeah.
It's like, I love Kuguri, but I don't think he was killing a former sword bearer by himself. Or with Toto's teleportation support.
Based on how, well... I think you can... It's too vague to, like, really conclude. I think you're right in with the information we have, but there's just too little context to really know for sure. I think Kuguri is a lot stronger than we think. I think Kuguri is a...
I know, he is a lot stronger than people give him credit for.
But I think he's like a Jogo, in that it's like, when he said the thing about fighting someone as strong as Samura, it just isn't, there's no point. It's not even fun, like there's no point to it. It's like, I think people will take as, oh, Kuguri's not built like that. I think the takeaway is that Kuguri is very much built like that. It's just meant to accentuate how fucking different these blade wielders are.
Yeah.
Kuguri's always like come to me as a person where it's like, on his own, he's obviously not Shiba level, but like that level of like a swordsman can be without an enchanted blade. I feel like that's where he sits. Like he's about as strong as a swordsman can get. Yeah. Like we see him cut through buses. We see him use his sorcery to like blow out entire hotel room floors.
He's hella strong.
My thing about him is like when he gets that blade, he is gonna be an issue.
Oh yeah.
Like genuinely, like because my assumption again is it's him and Toto are gonna be the person going after Subaru against Tayuki, and when he gets that blade, it's gonna be a problem.
I really, really hope we see that soon. I want the POV switches, man. There's no way. I think we're like, it's so like, we could just be a third of the way through. It could be JJK length for all we fucking know. There's so much that needs to get done. And I do not feel like, even though the pacing's very quick, I don't feel like we're rushing it. Like this arc, it doesn't feel rushed. We're taking our time, even though the pacing stays consistent. We're not. I initially thought like chapter 150 would be a decent place. I'm pushing 200 now, I think. Just based on like thinking about how much we actually have left to go through and the rate at which we're going through it. Like 200 is viable. We're nearly halfway to that point. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap the stream up now.
Alright.
Head off because I'm sweating buckets. It's so hot.
I got something that I would like to discuss with you. So if you want to stay on, if you have time at least.
Oh yeah,
I'll stay on for a bit. I'm playing right now, so I could totally be down for that.
All right.
I'll hear you out.
Oh no, I just want to look at like the current, or at least my current interpretation of where everyone stands in terms of like power scaling. Because you guys were just discussing it of like you guys think that this character is that strong or this character, and for plot significant reasons, you think that this character needs to be a certain level of strength. So I just want to kind of go through that and see where you stand on it.
Alright,
Gotcha.
go
All right,
for
we'll
it.
see. Let's get now. It was fun popping in for the stream.
No, he's captured my interest now.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
share my
Like,
screen.
I'm too addicted to this shit, man. All right, let's have a look.
Right.
Can I put this on stream? Is that
Yeah, you can, sure.
All right.
Yeah, you got the F tier non-fighters. You got your basic sorcerers. D tier. That is some insane Tau downplay. I'll be honest with you there, though, bro. Like, Enji and Tamaki, I low-key think they're probably they're probably a little too low in my opinion.
Yeah, you can't have
That's
NG
these
and
two,
you
right?
can't have NG and Tamaki in the
Tamaki,
same
yeah,
level
you can't
as
have like
Bum Rumor, bro.
Tenry's strong, but the thing is, Tenry does his best stuff because of the Dot and Seiki. Like, if you take away his Dot and Seiki, he's just as strong as the other two. Because like they all got their
I
ass,
see what you're
they all
saying,
got their
right?
asses whooped off panels, right? They all
Yeah,
got their asses
true.
whooped off panels.
Also, like I think
All
it's the way they're talked about. I think the Toe are like fucking. I think they're stupid strong. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're like
Oh,
probably the same level as like Ikuto and that lot.
where do you got Kuguri placed? I'm trying to see that.
Well, I have him here too in that same tier. Because
Ikuto,
basically
yeah.
this, I have this like the B tier is supposed to be like the Kaminabi elites. These are the not like the top level of sorcery guys, but they're still pretty high up. So like the Masumi,
I mean, they're a Zami
Andy
squad.
Cloud Gouger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the toe I get. Well, I don't know.
Shut up, it's bro. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna get too passionate. Never mind.
No, yeah. Speak your mind. That's why I got
My
you on here.
assumption about how the scaling works for the higher tiers, because that's when you can have more fun scaling. How it
Right.
works is you got this. You got low enchanted blade level, pinnacle of sorcery, high enchanted blade, true row. That's the 4 levels to it. Pinnacle is above low because let's be real, Sojo is getting his ass folded by Shiba.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a low enchanted blade is like Chihiro before this arc, like because he got a ton of power ups.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
So like Sojo, Hirohiko before his true realm, and like Sojo. Those are all those low enchanted blade like realm people. Then you got your pinnacles. So I'd say people like Shiba, Azami, Yura, those are your pinnacles of sorcery. And then one level above that, you get people like probably like I guess Uraha with his blade, you'd have all the former blade wielders, and then above
Right.
that on another level, you get like Samura, who's said to be the one who controlled the war, and you get the Sword Saint. But obviously Sword Saint's above Samura.
Let me
Okay.
wait, how do I
So that's when you can have more fun because then you can have arguments where you can be like, let's talk about someone like Hishaku. Do you consider Hishaku a pinnacle of sorcery or is he a low enchanted blade? Because like he's got some feats where he's like he's able to like detect stuff almost as fast as Shiba. He's got insane destructive feats, but he doesn't have that same hype behind him. He also has that 10-second feat as well, which is a little insane. That like 10 seconds before Shiba showed up, like he was one of the people there. So like, is he a low enchanted blade? Is he a pinnacle? I'd probably put him in like the top of low enchanted. I don't think he's a pinnacle, in my opinion, at least. Like maybe
Really?
if he ever pops that Dot and Seiki, he's going up there easily going up there.
Wait, who?
But I think his main the thing he really loses on is roots are amazing. However, they don't have a consistent scaling. Like the roots can either tank a Mei for some reason, or they're getting cut through by Samura slashes. Like that one moment when Chihiro used Mei Shred on the
Yeah,
roots
but
and they
I think
just
you have to kind of
such a bull. Yeah.
you have to kind of differentiate that the goal that he had in those two instances were different.
True. Yeah, I
So
guess he was fully
you don't
focused
really
on
know how
that.
much effort he's putting into each tree. It's kind of makes it hard to scale.
Okay,
Because for
okay.
example, with the Rakuzaichi, his goal was specifically to hold Chihiro back and to let Yura have that conversation with him, right? Whereas at the temple, he's just trying to overwhelm him, not necessarily restrict him.
You're right. You're right. I can see that. And then got characters like Kuguri. Like, do you think like, I mean, like highballing Kuguri is fun as shit to do, but like he's not a low enchanted blade level character. Like if like okay, like Chihiro, let's say Rakuzaichi arc Chihiro with enten versus Kuguri. I'm probably gonna give that to Chihiro. But like, so that's why I think he's good. He's really good. But the thing is, he's limited to his sorcery. If he had a better sorcery, he'd be up there. But the thing is, his sorcery is kind of like it's an ace. It's a one use time kind of situation. Where it's like, yeah, he could have that saved up, but the thing is, like, he's only going to be able to use that once, and if he doesn't kill you with that, he's probably just going to like start like he's just going to hit the jets, where he's going to be like, all right, I get it, and he's going to be gone.
I see like the main difference that you and I have in our way of like looking at it is I kind of see all the bearers as being on the same tier of strength.
Why is that?
Like the current the original 6 bearers and like Chihiro right now. I kind of see them as being in like a similar tier, but you kind of put more tiers in between them, specifically to specify the gap in strength.
Yeah, you get your low enchanted blade. So like for example, like I think current Chihiro, I don't think he's a high enchanted blade yet, because he still needs that help to beat Samura. So for me, like I think if like let's say if he fought someone like Uraha with his enchanted blade or Subaru with his enchanted blade, I wouldn't say he'd get washed, but he'd probably get his ass, but he'd probably still lose. So for me, he's a pinnacle of sorcery. Like he's around Shiba strength tier. That's what I put him with.
No, I gotta disagree. I gotta disagree because remember he got an upgrade last chapter.
Bro, I'm so glad I'm streaming my screen, but they haven't paid any attention to my abomination of a tier list, which they're gonna fucking hate when they see it.
And like the fact that remember before when he initially got pushed out of the hotel, he could only block it, right? But now he's actually able to keep up with the teleporting, and not only that, he's able to land a blow, and then also nick the blade. So
yeah, but the thing is, he also needed the Misumi's help for that. This isn't like he is way stronger, but the thing is,
I'm not saying he could do it on his own. I'm not saying but I'm saying they're on the same tier. Like they're in a similar category.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, but that's why he's one below him, because he's just not doesn't like
I have him at the bottom of the tier. They're clearly relative to some extent.
What's this? Wait, hold on. What's this Hiyuki downscale I'm seeing? Why you got Hiyuki in A? Hold on a minute.
No, I think you guys need to check out my goated fucking list, bro. That's what's going on.
Hiyuki is in S tier. Like I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm a Hiyuki glazer. I think current Hiyuki, if like she was allowed to use the entirety of the flame,
enchanted blade level, bro.
She's easily enchanted blade level.
Based on
statements.
Based on the fact that she's okay. I want you to understand something about Hiyuki over here. Hiyuki is the only other character in the entire verse to have a weapon that needs a seal on it. The only other weapon is the Shinuchi. That's how strong the flame bone is.
Also, I feel like just the statement of like rivals the enchanted blade, and literally says there's also a thing in I can't remember exactly when it is, like around chapter 50ish, where they go something like enchanted blade level or equivalent power. Hiyuki is in that category, bro.
Yeah.
And then Hiyuki, believe it or not, is also compared directly to Azami in multiple cases as well. Which makes things really odd now that I think about it.
Because I'm just sitting here thinking, right? If she really is true realm enchanted blade level, she could stop all the problems.
Yeah, but the thing about this is I'm betting my money is that the flame bone is we don't know how it works yet. And that's a very important detail. And it's also the fact that when she summons her things, she commands the bone or she asks the bone to do it. So my guess has always been that I think the flame bone is like a sentient thing.
Oh yeah.
Like it's 100%. Like
yeah, I agree.
Like, I agree. Some mans, you know how you can make deals with devils and they lend you their power.
Yeah.
My guess is that bone works.
What the
where
fuck
it's
is
like it's a
flame
deal
though?
he has.
That's a
Yeah, we don't know.
interesting.
That's the whole
I
thing.
can't
I have
wait to
talked
find
about that every
out.
single time I talk about Yuki, where I'm like, Yuki is really fucking strong, but we
Such
don't know
like
what the fuck the
Yuki is
flame bone
such an anomaly though. Like in all of
Yeah.
Kagurabachi sorcery, she is just the anomaly.
Hmm.
I'm streaming my tier list. It's missing some characters because
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
I haven't updated it in ages.
I agree. I agree with it, but however,
I'm kind of tempted to
I
do this
think
though.
to,
Or
I'm a
maybe
low key
nah.
little pissed off at Toto being at the bottom. I'll be honest about that, because Toto's like got some actual decent speed feats.
Bro,
So like, I low key like
Toto
she's got like
is.
she was.
Ah, bro, no,
It's like
no.
I just need to know if she can throw hands. If she can throw hands, I could raise her a lot in in like how I grade her power. Because
Yeah.
she's fast. She's a like for a sorcerer, she's fast. Like I'd put her like a anti-cloud gouger force kind of speed
agreed.
going on.
Agreed.
However, but we don't know if she can throw hands like that or what her actual
That's kind of
sorcery
what
is.
was making me put her down a bit.
Bro, fuck.
Yeah, like
fuck Toto.
once you get her sorcery dropped, I guarantee like she's gonna move. Oh, by the way, you could raise Tofuku a lot. By the way, Tofuku killed an entire elite squad by himself.
Did he? When?
Yeah, okay. You know, back in the Rakuzaichi, you get that random elite squad who are hanging from the chandelier, right? When we get a cut to see them all killed, it's Tofuku is the one who's standing over their bodies because he was the one who killed them. While Yuki went up ahead to meet Yura.
Tafuku upscale. Fuck it. I love Tafuku. I think he's dope.
Yeah, Tofuku upscale, bro. He killed them entirely by himself.
Yep, he's
Okay.
cold as shit.
And you got Tofuku's doing this all off hands because his sorcery is a domain, so he's doing this shit with his hands.
Yeah.
True.
Oh, I love. Honestly, I love like kick punch merchants.
Mhm.
There's something about just like I love like Yuki is one of my favorite characters in JJK, bro. I just love strong punch.
Damn.
I think that's low-key why I fuck with Azami even more after seeing that chapter. It's like, okay, shit, just
Yeah.
I don't like when things get too complicated with abilities, and it's like, okay, this character's really broken because, like, and it's just the most complex Hunter type shit ever, and I'm like, okay, well, I can't be fucked to keep up with all that. Just, no, I'm gonna punch you really
I
hard
love
and you're gonna die.
Hunter, but when I see those entire pages of like text, I just like sigh because I know I'm gonna be like only understand this on like the third read.
Bro, that's how I feel about One Piece most of the time. I'm like, okay, well, this character's broken, great. But like, what do? Oh, they can, create impenetrable barriers that they use to do like the most fucking weird random shit ever.
What's that one guy's name that Luffy fought and he used Snake Man against it? Katakuri?
Katakuri.
Yeah. I still don't fully understand what the fuck that dude had going on. Because like they called that shit a Logia, then they called it a special paramecia, and then they kinda like I don't know what the fuck was going on with that.
I don't know either.
Like to me that still confuses me a lot.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't like really like I guess One Piece isn't that bad for it. I think the best example is like the strongest characters of Hunter x Hunter, where it's like, okay, there is not a I love that Gon is just a kick punch merchant. There is not a single other character. Like Netero has 100 fucking abilities, bro. Like I hate Crollo. I hate Crollo's copy with a passion, bro. Fuck Crollo.
Oh, dude. Hisoka's shit, like, that confused me for, like, a year. I had no clue how he brought himself back to life.
Okay, no. The Hisoka thing, how do you not understand Hisoka's ability, bro? He drills it into your brain. Did you know that bungee gum has the properties of both rubber and gum?
How does that bring a fucking thing to life?
No, he's Hisoka, bro. Stop questioning it. He did it with bungee gum.
Like, dude, how did you manage to change your skin color with it? It's fucking bungee gum, bro.
No, that's what does he call it? Texture surprise or something. Bro, when that's it. Wait, in the Heavens of Rena arc, when he does that whole plan to like get his arm cut off, but he attaches it to the ceiling, and then he like hides the scar with. I'm like, shut up, bro. Fuck. Oh my god, it's so. Oh, I hate it.
This is why I love Gachi Okuda, bro, because everything in that series is so straightforward. They're like, this is how this shit works. Now you just got to see how they use it.
That's why. Okay, ironically, Law is my favorite character, and who arguably has like the most complicated devil fruit ever. But that's why I fuck with like bullshit, bro. I fuck with Shanks and Garp, bro. Do you know why? Because no fruit. They're just haki merchants. Just like strong aura. It's cool. I like big laser beam. That's why Ryu is my fucking go. That's why I love Kuguri. I like simple character. Strong punch, strong laser beam. I should probably watch Dragon Ball, to be honest. I'd quite like it, I reckon.
You fucking love Dragon Ball if that's what you like, man. Everything's straightforward. Besides, like, hits. Fucking bullshit from Dragon Ball Super. That's the only complicated thing.
I like writing as
Or
well.
Hit can, like, Hit's an assassin who can, like time stop and shit, and he can, like, store time, and it's like, what the fuck does that even mean?
But I don't like... The thing about Dragon Ball is I don't like how silly it seems to get.
That's okay. So to be fair, that's like OG. OG is silly. It gets a lot more straight. Like if you want like things with like stakes and are very straightforward, arcs like the Moro arc, Tournament of Power, Cell Saga, Saiyan Saga. Those are all like only serious shit in those arcs. Buu Saga, there's some bits in it because that's Toriyama's thing. He loves jokes.
Yeah.
But like arcs I can like the Amora arc in Dragon Ball Super is like my actual favorite arc in all of Dragon Ball. It's like everything in that arc is like it feels very serious. Like don't get me wrong, you still get your Dragon Ball humor every now and then, but like there's a scene where like Goku gets like a hand through his chest, like straight through his like heart, and it's insane.
I mean, I think a good example of shit that I love and don't love is Bleach. Like the variety of like abilities in Bleach is you go from Ichigo and the most unbelievably boring fucking ability in the history of ever with Getsuga fucking Tensho to whatever the hell Shinzui's fucking Bankai does. I can't even remember anymore.
Who?
Wait, do you mean Shinsui?
Yeah.
The guy who has the 4-axe play? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like
He brings a play into reality.
Yeah, he brings a play into reality. It's cool.
Whatever
shit.
play he chooses.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. Just do strong punch, innit?
Do strong punch. You Renji fan?
I like Renji. I do like Renji.
Dude, I made a whole video about Renji. I love Renji.
I like Renji, bro. He's dope. I watched his fucking like backstory episode with Rukia the other day because I'm watching Bleach again. I like Renji. Everyone cooks me for liking Renji. I love Renji. He's fucking awesome.
I love Renji, bro. I was a fan before he got his Uryu fight in Thousand Year Blood War.
Yeah.
That fight was so fucking insane, bro. That was like highlight of the core for me when he was fighting, like, because
Agreed.
those are two characters who don't get a lot of attention, and like, so like when you combine those two together, you get like one of the best fights in the series.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Kenpachi is my goat for a reason.
And I could figure that out pretty fast. I could get why you like Kenpachi.
Kisuke is my number one, obviously, because again, if there's one thing I love about Bleach, bro.
Let me get this straight. You don't like overcomplicated abilities, and you like fucking Kisuke.
I don't even know what Kisuke's Shikai or Bankai do, but I've read Bleach. I still don't know what his abilities are, because I don't fucking care. I like his character, and I like Kido merchants, because I think like Kido is way cooler than any, because a lot of them are just like strong laser beam. I think they're cooler than any Shikai and Bankai in the whole fucking series. Use spells and shit for the rest of it. Get rid of Shikai and Bankais, and I still love Bleach because I love that power system. And Kisuke is like a fucking like Hardo merchant, so I don't know what his Shikai does. It creates red shit, and his Bankai, I read it the other day when I finished Bleach, and it like I don't know what it does, bro.
It can reconstruct anything he touches.
But like, what does
Or,
that?
like-
Why is that useful? Like, what is he reconstructing?
He reconstructed his eyes, bring them back together.
So it's just a healing thing.
Yeah, it's immortality. You can also do it's basically Suzaku. It's basically just Suzaku. Because he can do it with buildings. He can do it with anything he touches. He can do it with other people.
But
Bro,
yeah,
he literally restructured space, like space-time space, to give Grimjow an opening to one-shot Askin.
Askin, yeah.
Oh, spoiler.
That's
my
why
bad.
I fuck with Okiura, because Gran Zero, big laser beam.
I love Ukiyora's like, I got this second transformation I didn't tell anyone about. Like, I love that Ukiora is the fourth, because it feels so much like Aizen was just like, hey dude, what if we like lie about your ranking to give like Ichigo a moment where he feels despair?
No, I love
What if
that.
we just lied?
I love that concept where it's like, a character, just some fucking random ass character, is just secretly way fucking stronger than they ever make themselves out to be. Like, I love that kind of shit.
Tapa is such a cool line.
Yeah, that's why I fuck with Bleach so much, because so much of it is just like, all right, we've got all these complicated bankais and shit, but fuck you, Gran Zero. It's like, okay, I like you. It's cool.
I love one of my favorite moments of all time is Kenpachi fighting Neutra, and he's like, dude, what if I swing my sword with two hands? Wouldn't that be like cool?
Wouldn't that be really awesome? Oh my god, bro, Kenpachi, I love it. Oh, he beats the old Kenpachi, awakens his Shikai. What is it? Big sword.
I can cut anything. What is it? What is his Bankai? I can cut even more.
Even more stuff. Yeah, it's fucking great. I love it. Yeah, I adore simple characters like that. That is why, bro, Might Guy is my goat too. He's my number 2 goat. Minato is my goat, bro.
Everything you're telling me you love about simple shit is why you should read Gachikuta. Because, like, the main character and half the cast, they're just like, oh yeah, this weapon, I can make it slightly stronger, but it's still basically just that weapon.
I have actually read the first chapter, because the anime is coming very soon, so I have started reading it.
Like, there's this one dude that I know you'll love. His name is Zanka. And you know what his power is? He can take his staff and he can make it slightly stronger, and then everything else has to be his own fighting style and his own way of fighting that like lets him become stronger. Because like he basically got screwed over. He got a terrible like Junka, got a terrible one. So basically he's like, all right, I got a piece of shit kind of thing, so I'll just beat everyone with this piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I know you'll love that character, because his whole like thing is like, I know what I have isn't nearly as good as what other people have, but that's not going to stop me from beating you.
Yeah, I love that kind of shit, bro. Kusakabe type fucking beat. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, like Kusakabe, that anime episode, I'm gonna be screaming, man. Because I love how Kusakabe was coming up for the names for those attacks on the spot, because no one had ever said that.
He's so cool. I love him. Oh my god.
No.
Everyone was hating on that chapter, bro. That chapter was peak.
Yeah. If anyone ever decides to do like a if Gege was ever like, hey, I want to do like another thing for Jujutsu Kaisen, just make a like side story about the like new Shadow Style school. Like, cause we can get fucking like Ino, we can get Kusakabe, we can get like just like side characters with cool abilities. Cause like Ino's ability to shoot a drill, control water, and summon a fucking dragon. That's his abilities, and it never gets enough spotlight.
Ino is also like, he's top 10 for me in that series. Not power, like favorite.
Yeah, dude, like, it was my first video that ever got like over 1,000 views, because I'm just like,
I love him.
He's just like
his kit is broken.
Like, his kit is broken. Like, he could like, what always pisses me off is like when I learned he has water like manipulation, I'm like, dude, you can just do what Sukuna did and just do your own piercing blood.
Yeah, like it's so cool, and the fact that he can fight like Moon Knight, because he can just inject himself with that Kirin shit and feels no pain.
Yeah,
so
and he just keeps
imagine if he learned RCT. Oh my god, he'd be so broken, because he'd just be able to tank.
And he's got Nanami's cleave too, so he's got an additional curse technique to work with.
Literally, like, yeah, he's definitely by the end of the series, he is stronger than Nanami. Has to be, because he is literally like.
For me, he's always been like I had like a good argument about someone where I'm like, okay, where does he scale with like grade 1s? Because obviously he's a grade 1 by the end of the series. I don't want to hear anyone that's semi-grade 1 bullshit.
No, he was a grade 1. He was a grade 1, like, when we were first introduced to him. There's this whole dialogue between Nanami and Ino where Nanami says, you are easily grade 1 already. Let me fucking, like, just be grade 1 or whatever. And he's like, no, I want to do, like, the traditional. Ino was like, I want to go the traditional work your way up route. Right? I want to be your apprentice. Because he looks up to his mentors. He had that relationship with Nanami and then Kusakabe. Yeah. So he literally said, I want to go the traditional route. He is only a grade 2 because he has chosen to be that. Nanami outright says he's already grade 1 level. Yeah.
For me, Ino's like, in terms, if you had to do grade 1s in terms of strength, he's probably got to be like top 5. If you take out people like Hikari, who's like basically like a special grade, but he's missing that like ace that special grades have that let them be like those city level destroyers.
Yeah.
And people like Toto, who's like, Toto's got like stupidly strong upscale for like no reason. Like this dude's a grade 1, and he's like it's just like his durability, his speed, everything about this dude is like special grade level.
Toto has like special grade sorcerer stats, just in like reinforcement and stuff.
No.
Yeah, no, he dead ass
Dude,
does. He scales
he tanked 2 black flashes.
from
He survived
Sukuna.
2 black flashes from Sukuna.
Yeah, a weakened one.
Dude, he took as many like black flashes as Maki did.
But he stayed up after a black flash, and Maki was down.
He survived that shit, bro. He saved Hana and survived that shit.
Maki took a black flash from a Sukuna who was just pelted by Jacob's ladder. Toto took one from, admittedly, a guy who was just hit by Yuta's hollow purple, but the point still stands. Like, he's stupidly, and it's because he's trained by Yuki. It's because Yuki trained him, and Yuki is like a brutal stats merchant.
So, like, for me, like, okay, I think Ino isn't Kusakabe. Kusakabe is the strongest grade 1 to me. He'll always be. That's just my thing has always been.
Yeah.
And then I'd say, okay, Megami's ass is not that strong of a grade 1, bro. The dragon Ino could summon is gonna tear through his fucking dog. Like he's gonna be like demon dogs, and the dragon's just gonna eat that shit.
Megami gets cooked by bro. Unfortunately, I still think Mei Mei is probably
because of the crow, bro. If you take away the crow, Mei don't got shit.
Yeah, but
you take away that fucking crow,
she is so bro, and she is low key like Kusakabe in that she worked for that shit. Like her stats are stupid. Her bird strike is stupid because she realized she was a bum and put the work in. So like, she is fucking strong.
Yeah.
Nanami though, I'm sorry, but he got power cliffed so hard. He's a bum.
So hard. Ino definitely is stronger than Nanami.
100%.
Yeah. So I'd scale. That's how I'd scale that shit. I think he's probably like 5th or 4th at the end of the series, grade 1.
Yeah.
Because like for me, but fuck, like
I'd put him
it pisses me off that Mei beats him just because of that fucking bird strike. If you take away the bird strike, she don't got shit.
Mei beats a lot, bro. The only reason why Kusakabe is above Mei is because Kusakabe is one of the very few people who has a fucking auto counter to that shit. If it wasn't for his ability to just do the auto reflex thing, then he would also get cooked by bird strike.
Yeah.
It's so busted.
I mean, like, Ino's unironically got an insane durability feat of getting like hit by like Toji like fucking 50 times and surviving that. That's like an insane durability feat.
Crazy,
like, bro. Because I want you to understand, Toji knocked out Geto when he was a special grade with 1 kick.
Yep.
Bro, when I saw something that like really got me pissed before, every time I see someone say like, "Oh, Geto beats this person," Geto never beats anyone. It's fucking Geto. Geto doesn't beat anyone. Geto's like physical feats are so awful, so awful.
Oh yeah. No, his
like if he genuinely got punched by like Yuji, I think he'd just die.
Bro, what?
He got
Gege said that he has the best physicals.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
I don't care. You gotta show me that. You can't. Don't give me that statement, shit, bro. You got one tapped by Toji. One tap by Toji.
Out of a selection of 5 characters, Geto was said to have the best hand-to-hand skill. And there's also a statement that says, Kenjaku, this is so weird though, Kenjaku has the best grip strength in... What the fuck does that even mean?
Using Geto's body.
But that's a Kenjaku feat, not a Geto feat, bro.
Brother. Yes, it is. What?
No, because if it was a Geto thing, Gege would have said
Geto doesn't know how to fight like Kenjaku knows how to fight. Yeah. There's not a comparison.
They don't have the same stats, bro. It's a matter of using cursed energy. Which Kenjaku is far superior than Geto, bro. Yeah. Geto was getting... he was a 30-year-old man getting packed up by a guy who'd learned jujitsu 3 months ago.
Like, you need to understand. A 15-year-old, like, malnourished Yuta Black Flash had him on the ground, breathing like he had asthma.
And bear in mind...
Do you know what a Yuji Black Flash would do to that man?
You realize that Yuta was stronger than the current Yuta?
No, that's not how that
No,
works.
that's
I'm sick of
not
people
at
saying
all
that
works.
shit. He just had
Absolutely,
more
that is
cursed
absolutely how
energy.
that works.
No, he had
no.
more cursed energy. He didn't know how to use it as well, though.
Yeah,
Like,
he
It
has
doesn't
calling
less
matter.
games.
experience.
Yes, it does. Yes, it
It
does.
doesn't because they
Gojo
literally
literally
go
told
on
us
to
about
say
this.
they literally go
No,
on to
no,
say that
no.
his entire amass of cursed energy is what makes up for his lack of strength.
Physical
Yeah,
strength.
but
Physical strength. Like he's talking about.
yes,
He's talking about Yuji is a natural born powerhouse. This is the whole thing in JJK about the body and the strength of the body, like being a massive factor. Yuta is going. I'm on the weaker side in that I don't have the raw power that like you and fucking wham creatures like Sukuna have. But he's gonna have my insane amount of cursed energy like makes up for that. He's not saying that he's weak, but because he just has so much cursed energy, he's like can get
yes.
by. It's literally
Yeah, and like
it's a
Gojo
direct
tells him
comparison to
this, like,
Yuji.
whenever you see Yuta training with Gojo, Gojo is always like this with Yuta, where he's like, "You got a lot of cursed energy. You don't know how to use it though,
Yep.
and that's your weakness." Like the current like calling games Yuta is putting like JJK0 Yuta in like a pack because he actually knows how to use cursed energy properly.
100%, bro.
I disagree. He's losing.
There's no,
He's
you
just
can't.
he's just getting outpowered.
Also, can
No,
I
he's
wanted
okay.
to.
Domain expansion. Boom. What is he doing? Domain expansion. Boom. Over. Fight's done.
I
He
only
just
noticed
blows
this
up the
recently.
domain.
No, I only noticed this recently. This doesn't really help our case. But you know the black flash that Geto took to the face?
Yeah.
What you probably didn't notice because it's so fast, he blocked that shit. He put a cursed spirit in the way.
And he still fucking gets blocked
Yeah,
on the
and also
floor.
Playful Cloud is a strong hits as hard as like the user's power, right? So like the harder the user of Playful Cloud can hit, the harder that the more damage Playful Cloud does. I know that's kind of grass is green, but it's a mechanic with the weapon, right?
Yeah, okay.
Geto
so hold on,
smacks
just
Yuta in the
second.
face with that weapon, and he literally gets
Yeah.
straight back up.
I'm sorry. The thing about the Yuta more cursed energy thing, you do realize by that logic that like calling games Yuta beats Gojo by that cursed energy logic you're using, right? Because calling games Yuta says, "Oh, I have more. You see my cursed energy? I have more than Gojo." So by your logic, you're saying because JJK0 Yuta has more cursed energy. Like by that logic, you're saying that calling games Yuta could beat Gojo.
Yeah, that would just determine that if it was
No,
all
because
about that. Then
because
it's
his
like,
technique is simply superior.
yes, exactly.
Yes, so that means that means that calling games Yuta should be JJK0
Because
Yuta
he has
Because his
techniques.
technique is not that many
Superior.
that many levels. In fact, regular Yuta is stronger in terms of technique than Culling Games Yuta.
No,
His technique is literally limitless. He copies
No!
Inumaki without using a sample. He doesn't need to do any of the restrictions that he has now.
Yeah, that's
His technique
fine.
is literally
But
superior when he's 15.
that's fine. But
No,
he doesn't. He doesn't. All he has at that point is curse speech. He has no idea how to use anything properly. All right, and
Yeah.
like that's it. He's literally a kick punch merchant who's gonna get packed up in the 5 minutes. So the fact there isn't a time limit doesn't
Yeah.
even fucking matter.
Yeah.
Yes, it
How-
does.
how-
Because Rika's way stronger.
Yes, but the thing is, Yuta actually knows how to fight in the calling games, and he has way
Why
more
would that
cursed
matter?
energy.
Dude,
at his
you gotta
disposal.
realize. Gojo, the current Gojo, right? 27-year-old, he's 28 in the main story. 27-year-old Gojo was doubting whether or not he would beat Rika, bro.
No, he
Rika
wasn't.
is way strong, bro.
Show me
The
that-
gap,
show me that
the gap in
No,
Shikigami
no, he-
Rika
no,
versus
he
First
said-
Spirit Rika is so big that she would just beat any of them.
No.
It doesn't matter.
He said
Show me the
near.
panel.
He said near impossible to exercise, meaning that Rika's
Right, so he's
like.
not sure.
Yeah, which means that like if it's not about I could lose to Rika, it's is a barrage of my attacks actually going to exercise this cursed
Bro, he
spirit?
literally tells
Possibly
the higher
not.
ups that he would put his life on the line.
It's like Sukuna's. Well, I mean, yeah, but the thing
he's
is, like,
fucking
Gojo likes to fuck
Gojo,
with the
yeah,
higher
he
ups,
loves
but
to just
also-
chat shit to them.
Yeah, but also the thing is, like, it's he's basically kind of saying that like Rika is kind of like Sukuna's fingers, where it's like I really can't destroy this shit. It doesn't mean it's stronger than me, but it's just like there's so much condensed cursed energy in these things; they're basically impossible to exercise.
So then why would Culling Games Yuta be able to do it?
Because he could just kill regular Yuta, man. He's a fragile little 15-year-old.
No, but
He's
I'm
dead.
saying Rika is that much stronger, so she'll just protect him. It doesn't matter.
Okay, here's how here's how it's gonna go. Here's how it's gonna go. All right, we got fake Rika, and then we got real Rika. You could be like, oh, like no shit, real Rika is gonna plow through fake Rika, but she could at least hold her back for a bit, and it would
Based
take
on
like
what?
a second. it would take a second for like Culling Games Utah to absolutely speed blitz current like Utah and JJK0, bro. He's so much faster.
Yeah, it's
He's
Again,
so much
based
faster.
on what?
He knows how to use a sword.
okay.
He actually knows like other just energy things. He's it's over for him. He's done.
He's so much faster based on what? Where in the
Um,
series is it shown that Yuta gets faster?
That Yuta was relative.
Sukuna.
I mean, yeah, he is like.
Sukuna. Okay, JJK0 Utah is like struggling to keep up with Geto. And then we jump over to like
Yeah, and we just
Culling
established
Game-
that he has some of the best physicals in the show.
No, we didn't. You established
No,
that.
we didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't, bro.
No, we didn't.
Geto
Yeah,
has
Kenjaku's
the-
feats literally scale.
That is a
They
cool
scale.
dude.
Kenjaku's feats do not scale to Geto. They,
They
do
do.
not.
They do.
It's
They're
about-
one in the same.
Okay, wait. Just level with me here. What the fuck is the point of the six eyes? Yeah, the point of the six eyes is your control of cursed energy is like massively increased, right? And
Okay.
Gojo keeps saying to Yuta about you need to get your control of cursed energy up to scale.
Let me
Yuji,
let me
but just let me
use
finish.
the
Let me
six
finish though,
eyes- Okay,
because
okay,
like
go.
it's clearly stated throughout the whole thing, right? Control of cursed energy is a hugely important factor, which we know JJK0 Yuta's control of cursed energy sucks absolute fucking balls, yeah? In the same way
It's awful.
that Kenjaku's control of cursed energy is far superior to Geto's, based off, even without like statements and feats, off pure experience and years alone, and the era that he's from, will be better than Geto's. It will. It is better, right?
over 1,000 years old. And he knows how to do reverse curse techniques.
Yes,
like not just
like-
like RCT, but actually reverse curse
No,
techniques.
but now what you're doing right now is equating a knowledge check and equating that to skill efficiency. Those two
No,
things are not
that-
the
no,
same.
that-
But
not
one
at all.
leads to the
Dude,
other.
Hishaku has been
No, they
fighting
don't.
for 1,000 years. He knows how to fight better than Geto.
Like,
so
how-
I don't
naturally
I don't disagree that he's smarter. I don't disagree that he knows more. But I'm saying that those two things do not equate to each other.
But like
Yes,
he
yes, they
does,
do.
like
That's
Geto
really
didn't
exactly-
have a
If I live
technique
1,000 years and
reversal-
I'm a math genius, that doesn't mean that my speed
Yes,
got
but
any
Geto was
faster.
fighting for 1,000 years. It's said that he's a skilled fighter because he knows how to use reversals. The only other person who can use reversals is Gojo.
Dude, it's literally based on the body. That's why he didn't want to fight Kashimo.
What?
Because
Because
his
he was in
current
a
body
random
wasn't
ass
that good.
body during that era.
But
dude.
Right. So if according to you, then it doesn't matter because your knowledge on curse energy efficiency
No,
should
no,
just
no,
bridge the gap. It doesn't matter.
Okay, but that's like different because again,
Also,
if he had a shit technique in that body or like less cursed energy, then sure he can like
Yeah.
move as fast as he wants. But like, can we also please remember that Kashimo is also a fucking goat? Like,
Yes, that is Kashimo, bro.
he's Kashimo. You can't
you
go,
can
oh, why
downplay
is he not
Kashimo
speed
here, bro.
blitzing Kashimo? Because he's fucking
bro, Kashimo's a
Kashimo.
bomb, bro.
Kashimo,
Kashimo's a
bro.
Yeah,
bomb.
Kashimo is a bomb compared
Anyways,
to what people think
the-
he is, but he's still
The
a goat.
thing what I wanted to say was you brought up the six eyes, right? You said that the six eyes are specifically made to show the flow in curse
specifically,
energy,
they
right?
just play a large part in controlling
Right,
curse
right,
They-
right.
they help
so
you
that's one of
control
their
it,
main
though.
powers, right? And what does he say about Kenjaku? It's indistinguishable from Geto, but his
They-
soul knows otherwise.
So it says that
But
his
because-
cursed
because
energy
in
is
that
the
moment,
same.
Literally trying,
Right, his
because
curse
in that
energy
moment,
flow,
he's-
reinforcement, everything is the same.
Oh
Dude,
no.
because he's trying to trick Gojo in that moment, dude. Dude, that's literally what he's trying to do in that moment. He's trying to trick like Gojo. He's trying to pretend to be Geto.
But it also doesn't Gojo can't look at him and go, oh yes, his ability to use cursed energy to make himself go faster. I can see that when he's standing still.
But that's what he does with Yuta.
Huh?
He says that Yuta sucks because of the inefficiency.
Yeah, because he's seen
After
Yuta
he
do
fought
stuff.
him.
Like after he's seen Yuta do things, he's seen Kenjaku stand still and gone, how was he concluding? Your speed is obviously the
Yeah,
exact
also,
same.
in
All
the
of your
same way
stats
that
are the same.
in the same way how he concluded the conditions for the curse user with the bag over his head.
No, but that
the
tells him
paper
about,
bag.
that tells him what his
Technique,
curse
dude.
technique
That's a
is,
curse
not how
technique.
fucking
That's
fast
not,
he
like,
is.
your flow of cursed energy. That's a cursed technique,
Yeah,
man.
it's-
That's what the
it's-
Six Eyes does.
No, he
The-
literally goes
And
on
even
to
if-
give
even
him a
if we go
breakdown
off-
of his
we-
stats
even if
too.
we go off of that, like fucking like, oh, he examined every little detail about Kenjaku in that moment. That's because Kenjaku is trying to be Geto in that moment. He's pretending to be Geto. That's the whole
But do you
point.
have any?
supposed
But
to
you
be
can't
indistinguishable.
prove. You can't prove that in a different moment he was different.
I mean,
Well, yeah, but neither can you because he never says that
No,
again.
because Gege literally says that they are similar. They're one and the same. It's the same body.
like, do we really think Geto's throwing hands with Yuki like that?
No,
Again,
we
that's
saw what
a,
he did to a special great spirit. He's gonna be like,
So let's
he's gonna be like,
let's think about this. Let's put it in perspective, okay? Toji and Maki stated relative. Toji obliterates Geto, right?
as a
Yeah.
teenager, yes.
Oh
Okay,
my God.
but the whole point of Geto's character is that he does not really grow past that point. He stagnates.
Yeah,
It's the whole point of his fucking character. He's such a
disagree.
hyper-focused, delusioned
I
bum
agree that he
in
stagnates, but
JJK0.
not to that degree that he's
No,
the same as
he
when
is.
he was a
He's
teenager.
fully
that's
like.
quite
Go
okay.
on.
In his in like that point when he talks about how depressed he was and how Gojo was starting to go more missions by himself, and he was starting to go on more missions by himself. He talks about how Gojo's power had kept on growing and growing and growing. Well, he
Yeah.
stagnated. He was stuck at the level he was.
He literally
That's the
stagnates
whole
the
point.
whole fucking point. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Edo
stunts.
reached his peak at a young age, and I'll give you that. Don't worry, like I'm not gonna be like, oh, he didn't get stronger when he was a teenager. No, he got stronger when he was a teenager, but not by like a huge amount. He
I'm
got
not
more
saying he
cursed
did.
spirits. He got more cursed spirits. He got more cursed tools. But the thing is, like his stats, his base levels, those never really got that much better, and that's what really drove him to his depression. Because like when they were
That's
young,
not
like
what drove him to the depression.
Well,
yes, that's
it's part
okay,
of the
not
reason.
exactly, but like.
It's a bit of the reason,
But,
not
like,
really, but like kind of.
The thing that made him so depressed is he could look at Gojo and he could be like, you could do what I wanted to do
Yeah.
when you just feel like it. I can't do that. I can't get that strong. Like that's not one of the main reasons he got depressed, but like that's his whole like little speech to Gojo when he's like, if you wanted to do what I wanted to do, you could do it.
Okay.
And that's basically what he's relating it to. He's like I could get all these cursed spirits, I could get all these cursed tools, but at the end of the day, I have a limit.
Let me
and I
put it
can't
like
get over
this. Let me put it like this. How many fingers worth of strength do you think Kenjaku has?
That's fingers aren't a good way to scale stuff.
They're the
Less-
best way to scale.
Less than 14.
They're awful, dude. Dude, I like people love to scale like Jogo. Like he's like always 9. Kenjaku said he was 6 to 9, bro. That's a 3-finger gap. That's pretty
No,
big.
he said 8 to 9 at best, being
Also,
generous.
I hate that statement because Kenjaku is
hate this
blatantly
statement.
lying. He is egging
Yeah,
Jogo on to go fight Gojo,
Yeah.
so we can fucking figure out that he should not be cocky about this shit.
Okay,
it
but how
is a
many fingers do you
blatant
think Kenjaku's
manipulation.
worth?
I don't think we can scale fingers. We don't have a
yeah.
baseline for that.
But if
Like, you
I had
can't
to
do
say,
scaling.
based on the fact that Kenjaku thought 14-finger Sukuna would have a chance against Gojo, I would put him well below 14 fingers. Like, generously 8
Yeah.
to 10.
Well below.
Like, generously 8 to 10.
Okay.
I don't like scaling fingers is never a good way for
Yeah,
me.
because
There's
the
no
fingers don't
actual
scale,
line.
that's why.
It's like, oh, if you want to do finger scaling, does that mean like the finger bearers are 1 finger, and that means that that means the thing that got one shot by demon dogs is like 20 times, like if you just times that by 20, you get Sukuna.
Yeah, Sukuna thinks he
that's
can
not
No,
all.
because they don't have access to Sukuna's power. They don't have access to his techniques.
Also,
It's
Yeah,
just
but
the
it's like the
residuals that are
percentage
flowing
level,
out of
you
the
know?
finger are what's boosting them.
yeah, but also consider
Yeah,
that
but it's-
heartless, damaged UG body 3-finger Sukuna also thought he had a shot against Maharaga. So does that mean that, like, 3-finger Sukuna is
Yeah.
Maharaga level?
I mean, like Gege did say he'd obviously be beat, but then it's just like, no shit, okay, we kind of saw that.
And it's like, also, Gojo looks at Jogo and goes, he's probably as strong as Sukuna right now, while Sukuna's 3 fingers.
Yeah. Fingers are an awful scaling, and then because they're not like consistent. But I mean, the whole point about the consistency is that Kenjaku was literally just egging Jogo on. He's like, nah, you got this. You got it.
But like,
Like he's
Kenjaku,
fucking with him.
Kenjaku is like able to use reverse curse technique reversal, a domain expansion. Like he can, he has some insane barrier techniques. He has abilities to like swap between techniques very fucking fast. Does Geto have anything like that? Because at the end of the day, your ability with all fields of Jujutsu comes down to your manipulation of cursed energy and how good you are at controlling it.
Right, and then
Yeah.
my original point comes back up again. All those things that you just mentioned, reverse curse technique reversal, this, that, barrier techniques, none of that has any direct effect on your physical strength.
No, but what I'm saying is, if we know that like Kenjaku is able to do those things and Geto isn't, then why is it so crazy to say Kenjaku can also like have a better control of cursed energy stat-wise? Why is that so crazy? All the evidence shows that he could.
Because of the fan book. What
does the
Gege
fan book
said.
say? What, that Kenjaku has the best grip strength.
Yeah.
But he doesn't say anything about Geto.
Yeah, he says Kenjaku, not Geto.
Yeah, exactly. Geto isn't mentioned.
That's not the same. Like, you gotta look at Yuta, where Yuta is like a relatively weak person if you take away his cursed energy. But when you give him his cursed energy, he gets insane physicals.
Yeah.
Because that's cursed energy reinforcement. You're not only reinforcing your hands and maybe like your kicks with the cursed energy, you're also reinforcing your body with it to literally make you stronger and faster. That's why, like,
you use cursed
like
energy.
it's like Yuji. Take Yuji. When Yuji hits a black flash for the first time, his energy, he figures out how to use it better, and he's able to like actually like punch people and do way more damage to Hanami.
Because you have an amount of cursed energy, right? Like, that doesn't really seem to change much. But
nah, you're kind of like stuck with that. It's how you use it.
Characters do actively grow and get faster based on their experience because they learn how to better control their cursed energy. Todo explains it to Yuji in the Sister School Exchange event. And there's a disparity between, like, there's an exception when it comes to massively powerful sorcerers like Yuta and Gojo with huge cursed energy, where it's like after a while it becomes kind of difficult to read them because of their overwhelming amount of cursed energy. But then for a skilled average grade 1, it's like that whole thing of... Yeah, go on.
Yeah?
Do you think that there's a certain peak that a sorcerer reaches according to what Meme says? A point at which you can't progress any further due to optimization?
Like how much cursed energy you have and stuff like that?
Yeah.
No, optimization, as in what Yuta's lacking.
What do you mean?
I guess, but also, but the thing is, like, you could get, there's a big crunch. Like, that statement by Meme gets contradicted a lot. And, like, one of the biggest contradictions to that is when Yuji is hitting his Black Flash barrage, Sukuna directly says, like, he's like, climbing a ladder up to his level.
Yeah,
so
but you forget that we never get stated that Yuji reached his peak.
Oh, no, of course not. I'm not saying that. But, like, what I'm saying is that, like, that means, like, I don't know, like, what if Meme randomly hit a Black Flash? Would that mean, like, she'd increase in her overalls? Or, like, what?
I mean, yeah, the very fact that Black Flash exists is proof that understanding cursed energy better increases your, like...
Yeah.
Because the whole point of Black Flash is your
but we don't know
understanding
if
of
she's
cursed
hit one
energy
or
is on
not.
a different plane. No, but I'm saying just in general, like,
No, but
Black Flash
saying, like,
pushes your cursed
like,
energy control to a different level, and then every character who gets a Black Flash suddenly is just stronger. They are objectively stronger. Yeah. So their stats
like,
increase.
Like Nobara.
Yeah, like literally their stats go higher.
Yuji multiple times. Yuji does that multiple times.
Which is
Todo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my point is, you don't know if Meme has hit one, so you don't know if her statement falls apart or not.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like theoretically, like there's a lot of contradictions with that statement, so you can't really just like be like, oh, this takes priority in our statement thing, because there's like contradictions to that, and like, so you can't really like.
Yeah,
I don't see how there's a contradiction in that.
Black Flash.
What are you trying to say? That people have a limit?
Yes, that's literally what's stated.
But like,
yeah, but then like
your own logic kind of works against you because you don't know if she's hit a Black Flash.
No, that's what I'm saying. You can't make an assumption based off.
Well, then we can't agree with her statement either. We can't agree with it or disagree with it because there's too much.
At that point, you have to just fucking chuck it out.
But it's not a contradiction if you don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly a contradiction if you don't know.
No,
if
not.
we don't know if she's hit a Black Flash,
you have to just assume that it's true until proven otherwise. That's Arkham.
No, you don't assume someone has hit a Black Flash until proven otherwise. You assume they.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
One,
I'm saying she says that there is a limit that someone reaches at a certain point. I'm sure she's observed other people too.
But realistically,
but then like we also know about a technique that literally moves sorcerers up again. So like,
which is?
Does that technique mean like that? Like she can't do that, or like
which technique is that?
Black Flash. Like if she hit a Black Flash, would she move up? We don't know because we've never seen that before. So we can't.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying you can't say that there is no limit to which a certain sorcerer cannot reach. If you're saying that,
also I'm pretty
Black
sure
Flash is...
does she not say that with exceptions? She makes like a comparison to Gojo, I swear. Because like
Yeah, but Gojo's the exception to everything.
Like Gojo is the exception.
yeah, but what I'm saying is like you can't just say that about Gojo and no one else. Realistically, you can't.
Also, I want to say like
No, but
those,
that wasn't
like,
my point. My
statements
point
Gege
was if you
gives
think
about,
Geto's body has peaked or not. That was where I was leading.
well,
the
but
question
also
to.
those like statements of like hey, like how do I say, like oh, this person is the strongest grip strength. This, like, those statements, they're kind of like bullshit. Do you guys remember when the former head of the Zenin clan was said to be the second fastest sorcerer behind Gojo?
Yeah.
That made no sense at all.
Based on what?
Like,
I don't
They're
know.
talking
based
about the
on the
modern
fact
era.
that we have like, because we have the, okay, so he's the second fastest, right, behind
Right.
Gojo. So
Yeah,
that
that
means he's
doesn't-
faster than you. That means he's faster than Yuki. That means he's
Fu-
faster
fully
than Yuta.
stacked.
That
Absolutely,
means
yes.
you think. Hold on. You think Mister I get blown up by Jogo?
No, he's also
With
stated.
one hand.
He's also no. He's also stated by Dagon to be like as far. Jogo and Nobita were equal in speed. So you're saying
Yeah.
Jogo is faster than all the special grades?
Could be. We don't know.
Jogo,
Brother,
Bossman Jogo, yeah.
you're saying Jogo is faster
Big man Jogo.
than Yuta.
Also,
And
when
Yuki.
did Nobita ever fully stack against Dagon?
Wait, no, this is bullshit. This is bullshit because, right? This is either proof that they get faster or proof that whole speed statement isn't true. Either way, because ramped up Naoya is faster than Naobito. Maki, like, becomes Mark 3-ish, right? Like Naobito ramps up speed-ish. And Yuta and Yuji at the end of the story are relative to Maki, who's as fast as, if not faster than Naoya, sorry, Curse Naoya, who's faster than Naobito. So either they do get faster through like learning cursed energy control, or Naobito isn't the fucking
for me,
second
those, like,
fastest.
I
Either
don't-
way, it's like you can't.
Those-
There's no.
I
I'm
don't.
gonna
I
just
don't.
be real. Like, those
No,
statements
I don't agree with that.
are just
That's-
they never hold up. They almost never hold up in manga. I mean, Naruto is a fucking demon of statements like that, man.
Yeah,
like,
but that's
how
a different
like, the
series, different
Sanin-
author. You can't compare the two.
Well, I think
No,
Gege,
but it's a similar
Gege chats shit.
And
a
and
lot.
also, like, yeah, it's a similar situation. It's like statements, unless visibly shown, almost never hold. And like we also see that in JJK. Speed statements never. I think it's what I remember. There was another statement besides like speed statements. Someone else said like what was the other one?
Bear in mind,
trying to remember
Gege thinks, well, Gege says like that Kenjaku would be able to like struggle, but able to what's the words? Absorb. Will take Mahito and Jogo at the same time. So
We originally planned to take Jogo, didn't he? But Jogo got
like,
killed by Sukuna.
if you chain scale that, then like Yuta definitely.
What are you saying?
By your logic of like Yuta is roughly relative to Geto in JJK 0 in speed. He becomes faster after a while, but he's
Yeah,
still
when
like,
when he has that moment, you know, when he like breathes, where he goes like,
yeah.
and he breathes out, that he gets faster than Geto.
Yeah,
No,
Yuta-
keep going, Allons. Keep
Wait.
going, Allons. Keep going, because I see already a fallacy here.
No,
But keep going. Keep going.
Yuta is faster than Geto, right?
Right.
And
Mhm.
you're saying that Kenjaku and Geto are equal in stats because of the same cursed energy. But Jogo is supposedly faster than Yuta, but Kenjaku can take Jogo. So how does that work? At that point, Jogo is way faster than Kenjaku. Because Yuta is like deadass blitzing Geto, yeah? Yuta is then slower than Jogo, but Kenjaku, who has the same stats as the Geto who was getting blitzed by that Yuta, is supposedly taking Mahito and Jogo at the same time, according to Gege himself. So how does that work?
All right, let's go to the statement where he says that. All right.
Wait, which bit? Which one? Wait, actually, just let
Statement
me,
argument.
The Mahito, Geto, Kenjaku,
I'm,
right?
I'm getting a drink. I'll be back in a second.
Statement arguments are so like this every statement argument always feels like Shanks versus Mihawk. It's just do you know that one video Hockey Man, like that Naruto Pain parody. There's no such thing as a fucking hockey man. You know that one?
No, I'm not familiar with One Piece.
Oh, I gotta send you this, bro. This is like power scaling 101. Give me a sec. Okay, here it goes. Yeah, this shit right here, bro. This is like
Okay, so the statement that Alonso is talking about reads like this: Will
yeah.
Jogo, Hanami, and Mahito be under the cursed spirit manipulation control if he tries to do so? The answer that Gege says, if it's a one-on-one fight. But Jogo and Mahito will be tough.
Yeah,
That's
but
all.
also
That's all it says.
in the main story, by the way, he also planned to absorb Jogo.
Yeah, but that says nothing about the
That was
difficulty
actually part of his
level.
plan. So that means like actual Kenjaku thinks like, oh yeah, I could absorb Jogo.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no,
Yeah,
no. That's not what this
yeah,
statement says. That's not what this statement
yeah,
says.
but that's
This
a
statement says
statement where
this
he's
statement
getting
talks about the
jumped.
difficulty. What you're talking
Yeah,
about
when
is
he's
whether
getting
it be
like if
possible
he's
or
getting
not. I'm not
jumped.
saying it's not possible. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's not
yeah, no,
possible. I'm talking about the difficulty level.
yeah, but that's if all three of them jumped him at the same time.
No,
I'm
no, no.
back.
Gege literally
Yeah, yeah.
prefaces it by saying if it's a one-on-one fight. That's what he prefaces
Yeah,
it
yeah.
with. That's what he prefaces it with. If it's a one-on-one fight.
I'd be forgetting how like inconsistent power scaling is in JJK.
I'm
I love
telling
this
you,
series.
bro.
Yeah,
I'm
this
telling
shit
you,
is
that's
not
what Gege
consistent.
says. And then you further confirmed it by reminding me that, yeah, he did indeed plan to take the two of them.
Well, that like in his mind, he's like, I could take Jogo.
Yeah,
So
but
like
in
he's
his mind,
confident.
he also thinks that Yuta sucks.
In Kenjaku's mind, yeah.
Yeah, but that was like, I mean, like he hadn't even seen Culling Games Yuta yet. He was basing him off of the guy who could barely control his cursed energy in JJK Zero. I mean, actually, no, he never even saw Yuta. What the hell was he scaling him off of?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. These like in character statements don't always have to mean truth.
Sam go,
Why,
damn, damn.
why is this shit not working, bro? Why is my
Because
camera not
you
working?
guys were like, or not you, Micah, but Alon specifically was like, Naobito and Jogo, when both are at their full power, fully stacked Naobito versus regular Jogo, they should be relative based on Dagon's statement. But what true? How do we know that Dagon is telling the truth, and how do we know that he's fully aware of both of their maximum speeds? Because
Yeah, Dagon also says
Dagon is a narrator that is able to be wrong. Like he's how do you
he's
what's the
wrong about
term?
Koji.
What's the term that they use
He's
for that?
he's
And
a
and
there's a inconsistent narrator.
no, not inconsistent. It's unreliable. He's an unreliable
Unreliable,
narrator
yeah.
because he doesn't know the full truth of certain things. For example, he thinks that he can hit Toji with his sure hit if he gets his domain fully restored without Megami doing the tug of war. But we as readers know that that wouldn't be the case because Toji has zero curse energy, so his domain wouldn't be able to recognize him. These statements don't always have to be the truth, or at least not holistically truth.
I mean, also, like, I mean, that one's a little bit of an exception because, I mean, Dagon had never seen a heavenly restricted person before, and he has worked with Jogo for years, so maybe he does know Jogo's speed. So, but even then, I don't
Yeah.
really rely on Dagon as a narrator. But, like,
I mean,
God, statements make shit so annoying to deal with because, like
I
if you give someone the
just
strongest, like, grip strength, like when he says, "Oh, Kenjaku has the strongest grip strength," is it besides Gojo? I'm assuming, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a little more sense then. Yeah.
I mean, he's the exception to so. I mean, it would also be besides Sukuna because he's not part of the modern
Yeah.
era. So you know, but I'll give you another statement that's like a really funny one to think about. So this is about Kenjaku possibly taking over Toji's body. So the questioner asks, didn't he think of taking over Gojo or Fujigoro Toji? And then Gege says, Gojo is impossible for him. Point.
Yeah.
That's it. And then for Toji, he says, putting it simply, he can't. Oh, wait, that's part of Gojo. He says, it's not impossible for Toji, But
that I have
the
you-
moment he transfers, Toji's heavenly restriction will clash with his own curse technique, and there's a possibility that a bug may occur. So there's no point in taking over those two people. So what he's saying for Toji is that he could have beaten him to a point where he could take over his body, but because of the heavenly restriction, it would go bad.
That feels like a jump and a half.
Okay, also that literally makes no sense, by the way, because of what happened with Mekamaru, where his heavenly restriction didn't try to fight with Mahito's, like altering his body. Like if by that logic,
but Mekamaru's heavenly restriction is not
It's-
making his body superior to curses.
Yeah, it's completely
no,
different.
no, no. But what his body
It's
does
different.
is his heavenly restriction is you get a ton of cursed energy, but your body is dog crap.
Yeah.
So by that logic, if you fix his body, his heavenly restriction should be like, nah, I can't let you do that.
No,
Yeah, but
I don't
you
think
can
so.
change
'Cause
his body, but you can't change Toji's
I
body.
think the point of like the opposing sides of their heavenly restriction is that Toji becomes very not sorcerer, and Mekamaru became very sorcerer, and so like if you simplify that into just like their souls and stuff and the way that works, very sorcerer soul, very not sorcerer soul, i.e., very vulnerable as Mekamaru was, and invulnerable as Toji was. He had a resistance to curses and shit like that. They're two opposite ends of the spectrum.
But that doesn't feels contradicting.
I think the main problem I have, to be honest, is just what the fuck kind of question is who has the most grip strength? What the fuck, like, where, like, what, are we expecting, I understand he's the author, but
Anything?
why is...
Are we expecting anything besides Gojo or Sukuna? Like, really?
Just, I don't know, I feel like the question was grip strength, therefore we know the answer for grip strength.
Yeah. Also, that feels a little weird that like Kenjaku would be above people like Maki and Toji, right? Is that just not just me?
I think it says with the exception of Maki and Toji as well. Oh no, I think it says with the exception of Toji. There's a question where Gege's like, if we remove like Toji,
if we remove Toji, Maki, Sukuna, Gojo, this list just gets longer.
Surely it's in. Is it not in Jaded's? Where's Jaded's? Do you know what I'm talking about, Shiny? His fucking massive like folder.
Yeah, he has it, right?
Where is it?
In the server.
Yeah, he has like
Oh, he
all
must
the
have
data
hidden it.
shit. Bro, he always fucking accidentally removes people's perms. Bro, I haven't been able to access that. You just occasionally a load of my perms will just disappear. Oh fuck's sake. Okay, I can't find it.
Orion, bro.
Nah, it's fine. The point is, why are we even talking about this? We were talking about Ino like an hour ago. I was meant to disappear like an hour ago.
You're talking about Ino. I think it's because of Mei when we got to Mei. Mei is the queen of like inconsistent statements.
Fuck Mei.
Everything.
Mei's also, she's a coper. Mei copes. That's a whole thing. If she can't do something, there's obviously like, oh, I've reached my inevitable limit. And then when she's like, they're the only people to dodge Bird Strike, and she's really offended. But then she copes, and she's like, well, at least they chose to dodge it, which means it would probably kill them if it hit them. Shut up. She's just fueled on copium, bro. I don't trust anything Mei says. It's the same thing about, like, if you can't trust what Dagon says, I can't trust what Mei says, because she is an incredibly biased and fucked up character.
Yeah. But, statements for me ruin discussions in power scaling. It makes it so not fun. It makes it like, oh my god, that one statement about Ikainu finding the One Piece in 1 year, like I can never have an argument about that guy. It ruins it. It ruins it so much.
Yeah, it's because like the thing is with statements is normally it's a Q&A type shit where they never get to elaborate on what they mean. It's always a one sentence answer, which poses something which anime fans are really like, something that they can't seem to comprehend is the idea of interpretation. So they always think this is what that means, and no one else can ever interpret it any differently, or you have negative reading comprehension. Problem with statements is that they can mean so many things realistically, But people will spin it so it's like, oh, you want to talk about this? Well, he said he'd find it in a year, which means he's going to solo all the Yonko and everybody in his way in a year by himself. That's not what that means at all.
I'm just like, I'm so happy Kagurabachi only has the pinnacle of sorcery statement so far. That makes life so much easier when you're debating powers.
Well, and it's because I also believe that he, like, Hokuzono's made it believable that he is the pinnacle of sorcery.
Yeah.
But he also, the thing is, it's very clever the way Hokuzono said it, because he doesn't say he is the pinnacle of sorcery, it's like he's at the pinnacle. Which means that there can be others at the pinnacle. So it wouldn't be inconsistent if there is someone stronger than him. Yeah, like if someone ended up scaling slightly above him, it doesn't really ruin anything. Because he's at the pinnacle, he is not the pinnacle.
Ichigo, what the fuck? Chihiro scales Azami and Shiba together, so like my assumption has always been they're both at that point.
Yeah, I think we have a monster trio. I think Azami, Shiba, and Hiyuki are like the monster fucking trio of Kagurabachi. Like, they're always talked about in like this triangle of death by Hokuzono. They're always compared to each other. Like Azami's compared to Shiba, and Hiyuki's compared to, well, Azami's compared to Hiyuki and Shiba, which creates the triangle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he scales Hiyuki to himself, if I remember correctly, but which is kind of bullshit. Like, Chihiro, you're not like that, bro.
Okay.
It's like, Chihiro, I love you, man, but like, Jesus Christ, bro, you got speed blitz by Samura. You need to sit down a little bit.
Yeah, no. Of Gojo, Megami, Maki, Mai, Nobita, Naoya. He has a selection. Toji, Noritoshi. Why is Noritoshi himself there, bro? Why is Mai there? Anyway. Noritoshi Kenjaku and Geto Kenjaku has the strongest grip strength. Again, what the fuck question is that?
Okay, yeah, wait. Never mind. That Chihiro scaling panel, never use that because he scales Azami to Hirohiko. I'm never using that again. Don't use that for an argument.
Fuck that.
He uses paper sorcery, bro. Paper sorcery Azami. He's like, yeah, Hirohiko right now, that's Azami level.
No, bro. Hirohiko's a bum.
Do not trust Chihiro's strength statements.
Still just...
That's such a specific way to phrase that. Like, it's Kenjaku wearing Geto's body. Like, that's such a specific way to phrase that. You could leave that up to, like, so many interpretations. Like, you could see that as, like, oh, Kenjaku needs Geto's body to have the strongest grip strength. Or you could see it as, like, oh, Geto doesn't have the strongest grip strength, but when Kenjaku's in the body, he does.
Yeah, it's so
that's so... Because you could flip the coin either way. You could...
But also just like, why is no one talk? Who has asked the question about grip strength, bro?
Wait, hold on a minute. He doesn't include Gojo here. So does that mean he thinks Kenjaku's grip strength is stronger than Gojo's?
Yeah, he said ignoring Toji and Maki, but not ignoring Gojo.
So what if you put like Sukuna in there or Yuji in there? Then do you want
to know my biggest counter to the data book?
What?
Anything is what people love to ignore about the data book. Is there is this massive fuck-off disclaimer on the first page that says, Gege hasn't finished the story, everything in here is subject to change and not fact. But bro, everyone ignores the disclaimer. Do you know why? Because no one reads the first page with all the weird-ass info on it. No one has ever read that. Everyone skips to the interesting stuff, and they miss, because I went through it and I read the entire thing, like even the small print, right? And I'm glad I did, because there is a fucking huge disclaimer at the beginning that's like, this shit is really... what it effectively says is it's made up, and if it can change later. Like, it can. Do you know why Gojo isn't included there? Because he hadn't invented Gojo's, like, blue enhanced physicals yet. And that's not me speculating. That is a statement at the beginning of the databook that says, because story not complete, everything is subject to change. It is not a given. Databook is not a reliable source of information. I hate when people, like, use the crux of their argument. It was like, what was it? I was having a conversation with Gambler and Heavy, like, a year ago. And they were having the exact same thing about the Geto grip strength conversation. They were bringing up the Jogo point, and I was like, stop talking about the databook, bro. It's not reliable. Once you're at the end of the story, it's no longer reliable. because it says it's not reliable. It warns you at the beginning that it's not. Let me see if I can find it, actually. Actually, wait, I think I just...
I gotta make myself some food. It was fun, though. I had, like, ton of... We gotta do this for next chapter, too. This is
Oh,
so
yeah,
much
for
fun.
sure.
I gotta dip, though. I gotta work on this reaction video, too. I've been talking too much.
No, that's cool. No, thanks for jumping on.
Yeah.
It was great.
Oh, he's gone already.
Oh, yep. R.I.P. All right, let me find... I have a physical copy of it in front of me. But I don't think it's the right one, though. This is the official character guide. Is that what it's in?
I think so. I don't know.
Oh, there's actually some interesting stuff in here.
Which one are you reading?
Oh, shit. You can see it. I'm reading Jujutsu Kaisen Official Character Guide. I bought it. I've never read it. I've only read the online version. I've bought a physical copy.
Oh, yeah.
After Geto died, how could he have escaped been taken over by Pseudo Geto? Gojo would have had to cremate him on the spot. I've never seen that question before.
What page is that?
75. It seems that he's looking down on the curse spirits. He teams up with mine. Wait, why won't... I hate this one. Why won't the scars on his forehead heal? It's a binding vow. As you may have guessed, you can use reverse curse technique. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Good binding vow. Yeah, now we'll find out what the fuck that means.
Never do. Apparently Yuta has the same binding vow now.
Please tell us any new information about Miguel. Answer, he's strong. Miguel upscale?
I mean, we know he's strong. Gojo says as much.
Okay, let me, oh my god, there's a huge fucking Q&A section here. Oh my god, Yuta's questions are fucking stupid. What page would that question be on?
Which question?
The, oh no, I'm not even looking for that, never mind.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for, well, I should have, why am I, I'm confusing myself, wait. Let me just read this real quick. As with World Trigger and Demon Slayer fanbook now... Forward of the official Jujutsu Kaisen guide that I have in front of me. Alright? The official Tingaling, the foreword by Gege Akutami, written by Gege Akutami, says, I don't know what this says yet. As with World Trigger and Demon Slayer, fanbooks nowadays tend, just in my personal opinion, to go all out when it comes to showing what the author fixate on in their stories. So while World Trigger can provide detailed design and setting documents, and Demon Slayer can provide meticulous notes on world building, Jujutsu Kaisen doesn't have any of that. So the question going into this fanbook was, what can it provide? That was when I came up with the answer, I'll simply tear into my first editor. However, it's probably not a very wise or humane decision if I do say so myself. Those of you who picked up this book might not only be curious about Jujutsu Kaisen... Oh, so this is written by the editor, I think. Those of you who have picked up this book might not only be curious about Jujutsu Kaisen, but hold a certain degree of curiosity about Gege Akutami as a person. I think this book will give you a look at more personal aspects than what you'll see in graphic novels elsewhere. Blah, blah. Aha! Small print. In the official fucking book, by the way. This book covers... I'm going to read it word for word and then go into it, okay? This book covers Jujutsu Kaisen up through volume 15. Please make note that settings and backstories might change depending on future story events. All characters' ages are based off the in-story date of October 31st, 2018. Please be warned that some spoilers may be included in this book. This book covers Jujutsu Kaisen up through volume 15.
End of Shibuya.
Please take note that settings and backstories might change depending on future story events. And it's written by the fucking editor as well. It's just not a reliable source of information. It's meant to be fun. To give casual readers a deeper experience.
Sure.
It shouldn't be used for power scaling. Fucking stupid. Also, we know that Gege just makes stuff up on the spot when he answers questions.
Oh yeah, for sure. Kuba does the same. Most mangaka do that.
Yeah, but Kubo's at least, like, got world building.
Okay, true.
Yeah, I'm probably going to wrap up the stream and go get some food as well, because I've been
I
live.
ended my stream.
I've been live for 3 hours, and I'm boiling.
Bro.
Bomba Clot. Okay, thanks, chat. I'm tired now.
Good talk.
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you for coming on, as always.
Yeah, bro. No problem.
And I'll see you guys next week, I guess. No, go check out second channel video. Yeah, I'm gonna like look. Fucking. See that? Go watch it, chat. You can't see it. Fuck's sake. You still can't see it. What the hell is going on? Hey, you see that? Go watch it, chat. Good video. Trust. And go subscribe as well. Okay. Enough of that. Goodbye, Shiny. Thanks for hopping on.
See you later, man.